The Joe Rogan Experience podcast is brought to you by the Fleshlight. A lot of people are like, what the fuck is that? You leave your Ustream on and then it just comes onto that. The fuck did I do, man? The Joe Rogan Experience is brought to you by the Fleshlight. And if you go to joerogan.net and click on the link for the Fleshlight, enter in the code name Rogan, you will save yourself a lot of money. We found out, 15% to be exact, we found out that the Joe Rogan Experience listeners who call into the Fleshlight are much more likely to buy them. The people that click on the website, much more likely to buy them than the average listener.
Yeah.
And many times, which is kind of crazy. But maybe sad. Maybe we're all a bunch of fucking twisted perverts.
Yeah, your listeners are the listeners are all pervs.
For sure. If you go to joerogan.net, there's also a link for Alpha Brain. What's Alpha Brain, Joe?
Oh, do you have any?
Yeah, I do. I got a box.
I just need more. I've now become you, Joe. The last since you gave me that last bottle, I've been doing it every morning.
All the issues that people started having about sensitivity, we've eradicated them.
I was one of them.
This batch, yeah, but it still has the same kick to it.
Yeah,
it's have to go to onnit.com for all the information because I'm not a fucking scientist and I'm a little stoned, but. Onnit is ONNIT, and what Alpha Brain is a nootropic. It is a cognitive enhancing supplement. You know, it's a very slippery slope when you start advertising shit. You know, when you start selling things and people know that the words that are coming out of your mouth are designed to make money. And so they just assume that you'll be full of shit. Like, I can't tell you how many fucking assholes I've had to deal with online that say that, oh, it's a fucking placebo. You're ripping people off for a placebo. It is absolutely not a placebo. There's no way nootropics would get to this point through the scientific community, through the scientific community, through the supplement community. There's no way. These are not placebos. They use them on Alzheimer's patients. There's a considerable amount of both anecdotal evidence, research, and more research is being done, and particularly by us. We're running it right now. We're running some double-blind placebo study. It takes months to do these things, and I don't want to talk too much about it until after it's over. But if the results are bad, I'll tell you. Do not worry. If the results are good, I'll tell you. Don't worry. I believe in supplements. I've always used them. I take every day. I take fish oil. I take chelated minerals. I take multivitamins. When I don't feel as good. I don't have as much energy. When my diet sucks, I don't feel as good either. When I'm not eating healthy, I don't feel as good. I believe it's very important to take care of this body, to take care of this vehicle. It doesn't mean, that you have to fucking be a vegan and you can't ever have cheat days and eat ice cream. That's bullshit. I just think the majority of the food that goes in your body should be healthy. The majority. If you want to have a burger, have a fucking burger, man. What are you going to live forever? But the majority of your food should be healthy. And on top of that, I am a big fan of supplementation. There's a thing that I was talking about, sledgeline. This is some new compound that's supposed to also, it's some new one. I just took it today for the very first time. So I'll tell you what it does if it makes me feel any different. I just took it like an hour ago, so I'm not even sure when it kicks in.
I wish there should be somebody that regulates all of these to make sure that you should be able to take what you're taking and Alpha Brain, like mixing that kind of shit.
Well, with vitamins, you don't have to worry about that shit, but what you can worry about is when you get into like compounded drugs and SSRIs, like, the issue that a lot of people have had with taking New Mood, which is another supplement we have, which is a 5-HTP supplement. And 5-HTP, there are issues that people have that are taking antidepressants. So if you're taking an antidepressant, essentially it's giving you a bunch of dopamine, a bunch of serotonin rather, and it's giving it to you like the antidepressants are. You're getting it from the antidepressants, and you're also getting it from the 5-HTP, which is really basically a natural antidepressant. I mean, the word antidepressant, I mean, what is really going on? Well, what's really going on is when you're depressed, your serotonin's down. It doesn't necessarily mean that your life is any different, but now all of a sudden you're enjoying it. And there's a big debate on that. There's a big debate on whether that's smart and whether or not a lot of people are taking antidepressants and fucking with their brain chemistry when what is really going on is they're in a shit stage of their life. And if they can learn by these bad feelings and learn by the lessons, they could possibly move to a better place in life where, you eliminate all these things that are making you feel bad, improve upon all these areas that you have real problems with, and then you won't have these bad feelings all the time. You won't be quote unquote depressed. But I know people that have had fucked up lives, man, that have used antidepressants and gotten themselves back on track and then weaned themselves off of it and are really happy today. I have a friend that he was on the verge of committing suicide, he said. He was super, super depressed, terrible life, terrible childhood, very abusive childhood. But when he got on antidepressants, he got his shit together. And then once he got his shit together, he met his wife, he fell in love, he started a business, became very successful with his business, then slowly weaned himself off the antidepressants. And now he's very happy. And he's convinced that his state of mind was directly related, his depression was directly related to how shit his life was. But antidepressants saved his life. If everybody's story was like that, I wouldn't even be remotely skeptical. I would say, hey, obviously this is a great thing, but human beings, we're some slothy fucking slovenly cunts. And if we find just any excuse to take a pill, oh, I need a Xanax, I can't deal. There's a lot of that going on.
I want some Trim Spa. That'll help me out.
I'm so fat I need Trim Spa.
Anyway, I still have a bottle of Trim Spa.
That shit'll kill you. No, it won't.
Really?
That's not fen, right?
No, I don't know what it is.
It's not like but Rip Fuel. Rip Fuel will kill you.
I used to do Rip Fuel in high school.
Kill you. It won't kill everybody. It only kills pussies, but it will kill you. You're crazy.
I don't know why I used to do that though. I think it was like people took it. Yeah,
speed. It is speed. It's just like caffeine is speed.
I remember when they
caffeine is speed. What is speed? Speed's a nickname for things that are like accelerants, things that fucking fire your heart rate through the roof. That shit's terrible to do jiu-jitsu on. I did jiu-jitsu on it once. I almost had a heart attack because it was like being on crank. Like your heart is already pounding too hard, and jiu-jitsu is all about like maintaining your heart rate. Like it's all about like keeping a pace going, and and not wearing out. Like if you just try to sprint real quick, then you're gonna get tired, and then the guy's gonna choke you. Like it's all about like, and then the Rip Fuel is the worst for that shit. It's terrible for your cardio. You're like.
I remember the bottle. I can see the logo.
It's not legal, right? They got rid of it, right?
They might have changed the formula because I feel like I've seen it recently.
My point about all this Alpha Brain, all this supplement stuff is anything that I'm telling you about is something that I use and I believe in. That's it. I don't need to do this. I don't need to sell these things. I'm selling these things because they're legit, because I support them, because I use them, I get the benefits from them, I believe in them, and then after all that, we make money from them. We make it as fair as possible. I'm trying to rip off no one. I want everyone to feel like they had a good interaction. So the way it works is when you buy your first order of 30 pills, if you don't like it, you get 100% of your money back. You don't have to send the pills back. You don't have to send the bottle back. You don't have to do shit. You just say, this sucks, give me my money back. That's how much we believe that you will like it and you will want to keep using it. There's nothing better in this life than doing your best to improve your quality of thinking, and the quality of thinking that you have when you've done your best and you're taking care of your body and you improve your quality of thinking, you make better choices. When you make better choices and you think about things better, your life becomes better. I think there's no more important thing in this life than maintaining a quality of thinking, and that's what I use Alpha Brain for. And that's why I endorse it. That's why I take 3 of these bitches before every podcast.
3?
Mm-hmm. How many do you take?
2.
Yeah, I took 4. It gave me a jitters.
Yeah. Well, the last one I used to take 3, but then I started getting a slight headache.
4 was like I had a shaky hand when I was playing pool.
Yeah.
I just think, if you were playing football or something crazy, I think 4 would be great. But the thing that I've been getting into lately is the Shroom Tech, this the cordyceps mushrooms supplement. Mm-hmm. Dude, is 100% legit. I had way more energy than I deserved last night. I was the last guy on the mat. I'm never the last guy on the mat. But I took 5 of those fucking things. It says take 4, but I took 5.
Jesus,
took 5 right before class. It was awesome.
You're going to overdose.
It's just mushrooms. It's just mushrooms and B12. And B12 you don't overdose on. You piss it all out. But, man, it's amazing how you can affect your energy levels by nutrients. Really amazing. You know, like I said, I've eaten like shit for a few days, and especially as I get older, I really feel it much more now than when I was 20. When I was 20, I felt like I could eat a cheeseburger and then go work out, and it wouldn't even hardly bother me that much. But now it's just every little thing has to be in order for my body to feel smooth. Anyway, go to onnit.com, check out all that shit. Check out all the different supplements that are available. I stand by them. We got kettlebells coming out. They'll be coming out very soon.
I definitely want to get some of those.
Yeah, I think they're already up on the website. But we're just trying to figure out the pricing and the shipping. It's very fucking expensive to ship cannonballs. Yeah. Those are like cannonballs with handles.
That's why it should whatever makes it heavy should be something that you could just buy at a grocery store.
Yeah, but nobody's gonna do that. I wouldn't.
What if it was something like, oh yeah, it's just a bunch of pepper.
Be the lightest kettlebell of all time. Pepper. That's the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard. They have some that you fill up with water, but again, you can't make it heavy enough. You know, if I want a 50-pound kettlebell to train with, I have a bowling ball bag that I bring on the road with me if I want to bring them on the road. Because all I have to do is bring one. I don't need a gym anywhere. If I bring one 50-pound kettlebell, I got one workout that I do with a 35-pound kettlebell. It's fucking awesome, man. It's a brutal workout. And it's a 35-pound kettlebell.
Yeah, I need to get them. I always see them at Target, and I always want to buy one. I've just been using my Pekingese instead.
Dude, you know what you need to do for real? You need to just take up something like spinning.
I don't have time for it.
Dude, make some time. There's people that work full-time jobs and train for the Olympics, man. You got time.
I'm too busy.
Son, get realistic. If you really wanted to do something, you would join a gym. Join a gym.
I have a gym membership. I'm paying for it.
Join a gym and go to like some classes. Go to like a hardcore class.
Yeah.
Where you enjoy it. Somebody else is making you do it, and then it's over. You're doing it with everybody else in the class. It's a really easy way to get a good workout in.
Yeah. I know a friend that's going to a yoga class, so I'm waiting till she graduates so I can be her first person.
Why don't you just go to yoga?
Because I don't want to do it in front of other people. I want my own private yoga instructor in my bedroom or something.
You should go to yoga class and meet some chicks.
That's embarrassing.
Yoga bitches, son.
Yoga people are embarrassing. They
Some of them
fart all the time. There's too many uncomfortable moments in yoga.
Well, what's really uncomfortable is when you talk to them and they bring up like crystals and energy, and that's where yoga crosses the line.
Right.
It crosses the line into fuckery when you start worshiping rocks and the energy that come off these rocks, and you start, sacred this and sacred that. Unless you're fucking around, you say sacred. You have to be fucking around or talking about like war or something like that. That's it. That's the end of the commercial. Go to joerogan.net. Use the code name Rogan. Click on the link for Alpha Brain. Use the code name Rogan. Save yourself 10% off. All right, you dirty bitches.
Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night. All day.
Powerful internets. I gotta wear this this T-shirt that I got from these kids in Canada. The Blue Gorilla Radio. They sent it's out in the hallway.
Cool.
I'll go get it. But I just did this show in Edmonton. Man, these fucking shows. There's many times where we're doing these shows and hanging out after these shows where I'm like, well, this feels like it's some sort of a weird dream or something. This doesn't seem realistic. It doesn't seem like that, it's when you're just sitting around and it's just you and me, and this is how this all started. It's you and me and a laptop just sitting around. And then you think of the fucking numbers of people now that tune into this thing. It's very surreal because to us, we're still in the same spot. We're still doing the same thing. We're still sitting in my fucking hoarder's office with boxes.
This is turning into hoarder's office.
Oh,
this
it's
is
ridiculous.
like Don Barris's bathroom.
I got to throw almost everything out. It's like a lot of it is like gifts though from people that.
Yeah, you have a lot of cool swag here, man.
Yeah,
and a lot of Apple products that are unopened.
Just the big one. Just the
What's
iMac.
that thing over there? You got a bag over there with an Apple something.
Some stuff in there.
It's fun here.
Well, my hard drive crashed, so I had to get a new hard drive.
Yeah.
So I had to get a new iMac.
My shit's been all my Macs have been acting really fucked up lately. And there's two things that are really What?
It's a government, man.
No. Well, one is the iPhone has a problem that no one has been talking about. I haven't seen where the text messages are disappearing right in front of your eyes. Like you'll sit there, open it up, and suddenly the text message just disappears.
Well, I told you sent me a photo, and the photo vanished.
Right.
I looked down and I saw the preview of the photo, and I said, "Oh." And then I went back to my thing. I was in the middle of playing pool, so I didn't look at it.
Right.
Then when I went back to look at it later, it was gone.
Yep. That shit's been happening to me more and more, and I don't hear anybody else talking about
The government. The government's stealing our text messages.
Our text messages.
Yeah. They're going to find out how fucking boring we really are.
Yeah.
Talk a lot of shit. Talk a lot of shit on the podcast. Occasionally smoke pot. Ooh, dangerous.
And the second thing is the Flash on Safari and Chrome and everything has been really horrible lately, to the point where it's been freezing up my computer until I move the cursor down to the toolbar, and then for some reason I don't have to click on anything. I just move the cursor down to the bottom and it unfreezes everything. And it's really weird. It's
Do you think that's a memory issue? Is that
no, it's the government, Joe.
the government, man? Government's in Flash?
Yeah, government's in
What are they
Flash.
going to learn from Flash? They could learn a lot from Flash, right? Because I guess a lot of those probably pornos that are online are Flash, aren't they?
Yeah, a lot of them are still Flash, but a lot of them have been switching over to HTML5, which seems
So
to
you
be
can-
decent.
That's so you can watch them on iPads.
Yeah.
Once they realized that people were going to iPads,
Right.
it's
I think
amazing.
they should figure that out by now, right?
Yeah. It's amazing how porn just evaporated before our eyes as far as like as an industry. My next door neighbor's a porn guy, was my next door neighbor years ago down the street. And I think they just repossessed his house or something like that. It's these guys like were like high on the hog. I mean, these guys, I know dudes who are in the porn business who are making millions and millions of dollars. I mean, they had incredible cars. They had these beautiful houses. These guys were making fuckloads of money selling DVDs. Well, the internet just took the wheels out from under them, like completely. And that's an industry that's like, nobody talks about that because there's some hidden sort of a moral like judgment that you pass on porn till it's like, fuck them, they didn't deserve it. They didn't deserve the money they were making. You know, they deserved it. They got it on the back of exploited women and they, you know, blah, 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 blah. For whatever reason, we make a distinction. It's legal and it's a business, but it doesn't need to be bailed out as much as cars do. Car companies, like we can't lose Chevy, but if we lost Vivid Pictures, who gives a fuck? But then the hypocritical aspect of it is, fucking, this is $1 billion industry. This is, everybody's using it.
Right.
Like to pretend that everybody's not using it is insanity. Like the amount of people that are online that are looking at porn, it's something crazy. It's something like porn is 40% of everything online. Something nutty like that. I forgot. Pulled that right out of my ass. I think I might have read that, but I can't keep track of all these numbers. You stop and think about that number. That's a lot of goddamn people, and everyone's pretending this industry doesn't need to be saved. You know, they couldn't get any respect if they wanted to try to get a bailout for the government because the economy went south. The government would be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? What are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do with no porn? How are you gonna get by?"
I think it's like everything though. Like look at like, you know, yeah, porn is now not making money because now the access to being able to do porn is so much easier. Yeah. Radio station DJs aren't making as much money and they're failing because now podcasting has been able to reach and easily you can do it at your own house now and have your own radio show. And that's just like TV. That's like every single thing ever now because everything's now more diluted. You're more, it's more accurate to what you want to see. Like I want to see a band that's two people are dead and the drummer's still alive. You know, it's probably out there on the internet if that's your fetish, if that's your thing, if that's your music choice. Where before it was kind of like whatever you were pumped or whatever was available at the CD shop. Or,
right, and whatever you were sold on the local radio station.
So money's just more scattered now. And like porn is easier now because like me, I can now watch some girl that's a waitress in fucking Indiana, you know, put a dildo in her ass for free. You know, I'm
Right.
going to watch that. I'm going to spend my fucking, I've never spent money on porn in my life. Now I'm fucking spending $20 a month sending it to her. And that's what a lot of these porn websites used to charge, $20 a month. You know, but
So you go to webcam sites and
fucking webcam sites. These are real people. These are real fucking people.
you're like blue collar even in your jerking off.
I
You're like
love it.
you're like mid America.
It's
You don't even
great.
like them that hot, right? You like them like a
I like normal
Like an
looking
8.
fucking girls. Yeah. Hot, normal girls
six,
that are
a
just.
six.
Yeah.
6, but she's got a nice smile.
But once in a while, I'll click on the Africa checkbox on the very bottom because you could, on you know, a lot of these websites, you can choose what countries you want to see.
Whoa.
And so I'll just see a bunch of African women sitting around and going, hey, you know, and there are
Really?
a lot of lesbian African fat women, I've noticed.
Wow, they just probably get tired of dudes raping them. They
Yeah.
just go lesbo.
Yeah.
Wow, African. What are they jerking off with gourds or anything crazy like that?
No, they're pretty basic, and it's funny like the vibrators into the different countries how they look. Like the ones that they were using really did seem like antiques, you know, like wooden or you know something like that. Where like and then you go to like you click on Asia, and all those girls they're either Vietnam where they're using bamboo sticks and stuff like that, or they're actually like Japanese where they have like these high tech vibrators, like ones you've never seen before that look like fucking dolphins with hats on. It's crazy.
Wow. How many different webcam shows have you watched? If you have to
Oh,
say?
I do it every night.
Every
It's my
night.
new Twitter, man. I go to it every time I want to masturbate now. I go to My Free Cams, and I have no connection with these guys. It's my favorite. My Free Cams. I fucking love it. I
So
follow
you-
about
you-
5 different people on
How
there.
does it go if you go to My Free Cams? Like
It's
if
the
we go to-
well, one. It's the worst designed website ever, and I don't know who owns it. And if they ever listen to this, really spend the money on your website. That shit's so fucking crazy. But you just get this checkerboard of cameras, and you just scroll down. You choose what options you want. You click on one of them, and then it's usually free. And what you do is just hang out in this
Okay,
chat room.
I'm looking at it now. It's just a bunch of photos of girls.
Those are
with their
each-
asses sticking out. These can't all be real girls.
Yep, those are all. Oh no, go to like home or what's online right now.
What's online right now?
Click on My Free Camera right here.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's who's online.
Yeah, these are girls that are online. Yeah,
Models online.
Yeah, these are girls that are online. And then when you,
And then you just go to them.
yeah, you go to them, and when you log in, then it shows little previews of them. And so every time you log in, you just see a bunch of previews.
Oh, this girl's just playing with her titties.
Yeah, she's just playing with her titties.
Wow, this is bizarre.
Bizarre. And the thing is you'd never have to spend money there, you know, ever. But
This is so strange.
one of my favorite things to do is what you do is you put $20 in at a time. You get kind of like points, you know.
Yeah.
And so my favorite thing to do is you can also spy on like private shows like these girls are doing with other people, you know. And it costs more, but you kind of jump in real quick and you're just like, what's going on in this creepy room? Like, what's this guy making this girl do? You know what I mean?
How can you spy on private rooms?
It will say that the show's private, and then underneath it says "spy on private show."
What?
Yeah, so you could just sit there and
That
spy
shit's
on-
ridiculous. That's not private then.
Yeah, but if you know it going in, you know, you're like, all right, whatever. Because it's a lot of money. Like, I'll do it like 10 seconds time. Like, right when I know I'm about to come, okay, I'll find a private show real quick. I'm like, okay, now, yeah. And it's a little bit hotter, you know. It's
But I don't understand how they can sell it as private. That's the liars.
that's the whole. You could be 100% private, like,
Oh.
or you could be like this mid-private. And so the
What?
mid-privates are what most people do because if it's 100% private, it costs more for the person to do the private show.
Oh, okay. So,
So-
you can't. So there's people want to get really freaky. They're gonna go 100%.
100% private, or you just go on.
Gotta do.
Yeah.
Take advantage of your area. He probably doesn't get few
Dude, I'll jerk off to a couple of those girls.
old ladies.
Yeah, just because you don't see it every day. It's like looking at a girl's ankle in the 1700s. You don't see it, you know. So like, there's like old ladies, or there's you know, like really old black fat ladies. That kind of turns me on once in a while. It's because you don't see that. You don't masturbate to that every day.
Some of these bitches are they just sit there and do nothing. Those big giant tatars.
Yeah, but that's what's cool is when you create an account, you can see it refreshes all these avatars, so you can see who's doing what. Like you're like, oh, I'm clicking on the girl with the dildo in her.
She
hands.
muted everybody.
Yeah.
How dare she?
Yeah, because that's why you have to create an account because you can't chat until you actually put some tokens in
well,
it.
I'm not doing any chat.
Well,
what do you
trust me, you will.
when you chat, what do you talk to these girls about?
I usually just say Olive Garden. I want to take you to Olive Garden and things like that. Move? Yeah, and it makes them laugh every time. They're like, "You want to take me to? I love Olive Garden." They all love the Olive Garden.
Well, one of these days you're going to be doing this to a girl who knows the show.
Oh, it's already happened, dude.
You tell her who you are?
Because I've talked about this website before. I'll say like Olive Garden, and people will be like, "That's God for life, bitches," and stuff like that.
Oh shit, that's hilarious.
Dude, a lot of our listeners are already on this shit.
There's a lot of these girls that are really hot.
Yeah.
I can't believe this. This is so crazy. It's like peering into this world of hot girls that are taking off their clothes and they're just sitting around here. The window's really small, though. Does it expand?
You expand it. There's those 5 dots on the right side of the webcam.
Oh, Jesus.
You just drag that shit, do whatever you want. Do some screen No, never mind.
Wow. Oh, that's right. Don't say anything. Because then they know.
Then they'll fix it.
Oh, sweetie, why are you smoking? That bums me out.
A lot of marijuana use.
Marijuana use doesn't bum me out, man. But when I see a chick with a cigarette, I'm like, sweetie.
There's this black girl. I wish I could remember her name on it. And she never really shows her face too much. But she has a hot body. And she always has this huge fucking dildo just suction cupped onto the coffee table. And the camera's always just her butt just teasing it. Like she's just going to take the whole thing. But she talks like, "Oh my God, I'm such a bad little girl, Daddy. Do you want to take this, Daddy?" And it's like the creepiest.
Do you know how they have those previews? Like if you click on some porn sites, they have like a preview. You have to watch their commercial for their cam site before they show you the actual porn.
Yeah.
They had, you get different ones every time. I don't know who is editing these fucking things, but one of them was this chick. She was at least, like, I would say 35, 40 pounds overweight. She was black as coal, and the bottom of her feet were in front of the camera. So it was like the bottom of her feet, which were really pink. It was like an odd pink, and her feet are like bucking in front of the camera while she is fucking the shit out of her black pussy with this dildo. It could not have been a least sexual thing. It was like grunting and shit. It was, I mean, I guess it was sexual if that's what you're into, but for me it was like, what the fuck like I would put my boner away. Like, you make me watch that for a minute. It's like, what are you trying to do? Who's looking at that and going, yeah, she'll fuck me? There's certain girls where you go, she'll fuck you. You know, you look at the guys they fuck on film and the things that people do to them, and girls that like drink a glass of cum, or guys pull their lids open and shoot loads in their eyes. That girl, fuck yeah. That poor kid doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. She's a little fuck zombie.
On my free cams, try to search for this name, Apple Bottom Teen. That's the black chick. And if she's online, just turn up your speakers and fucking sit back and enjoy life.
I can't watch this and do a show at the same time. It would be too distracting.
Do you want a blanket for your boner, dude? Here.
That's
just been sitting here watching stream.
What if your jacket makes my boner bigger?
Hey, I've been sitting on it and it's warm. It might feel good.
Bet it would. So what is the profit? How do they make profit from this site?
The girls get a fraction of whatever money is donated to them. And I don't think it's very good. I'm sure there's other websites that are a lot better. Like My Free Camps that does not pay the girls as good as a lot of the other websites.
Oh, really?
But
wow, this bitch's name is Fuck Me Hard. Really?
Yeah. If you find Apple Bottom Teen, dude, you're going to love it.
Some bitches just leave their camera on and leave the room. That shit is rude. This bitch,
there's a lot of that too.
Fuck Me Hard. How dare you, Fuck Me Hard 69? You just need to see in your fucking computer desk. How dare you? They just get lazy. They probably like live their whole day in front of the webcam just trying to collect money.
Yep.
Wow, what a weird way for chicks to get attention. And some of them really fucking love it, I bet. They love that every time they log on, there's thousands of guys waiting to beat off to them. You know?
Yeah.
That's like got to be kind of a trip. And I bet if a lot of chicks have shit jobs and they start doing this and raking in the cash.
That's what I'm saying. You know how, I mean, just like doing podcasting from your house, how easy is it that you can just now have a job that you can do from your house? And that's what these girls are doing. They're like, why do I want to be, a waitress at Chili's when I could fucking make twice as much at home just fucking showing my butthole?
Yeah, isn't it? What a crazy roll of the dice it is for a girl to be born hot. Such a powerful fucking roll of the dice.
Yeah.
Because it's really all you need. for a lot of these girls. I mean, all they need is just to have the right bone structure and the right dimensions and the right look, and boom, everybody. I mean, it's just like hitting the lottery. I guess it sort of is for a dude too, but a dude's still got to go out and fucking make something happen. You can't be a loser and look like that. There's no losers that look like what's her name? Christy Canyon. Remember that porn star? Mm-hmm. There's no losers that look like that. Even though she was a porn star. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But she was so hot. She was the best example I could put out. What's the fuck is her name? Cindy Crawford. Mm-hmm. It's impossible to be a loser if you look like Cindy Crawford. You really can't be a loser. Right. She's just too hot. You know what I mean? I mean, like, you could be a guy and you could be like the male equivalent to Cindy Crawford, like bone structure wise, handsome wise, and still wind up fucking broken alone easily. You know, you're not going to be a loser if you look that good. She's just too hot. This society like values it so much. Somehow or another, some wealthy man will find his way into her life and marry her away. But for a dude, shit. This, you know, it's not worth as much. It's not as much of a roll of the dice for a guy to be born good looking. For a girl, if that's all you're trying to get done in this life, not saying that that's all every woman's trying to get done. Mm-hmm. Ladies, don't get crazy. Don't get angry at me. That's not what I'm saying. Like, that's all you're capable of. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying it's a fucking big deal. It's a big deal to be hot.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of these girls in these rooms are not even hot at all. But that even makes it hotter because this girl looks like somebody that would never do this, and she's doing it. That's hot. I love this shit, man. I've never been more addicted to porn than ever in my life, even when I was 18.
How long did this start off? When did this start happening?
I don't know, man. I think I've always, like, Anthony, from Opie and Anthony. There used to be this website that I used to be addicted to that he's always talking about. I forget the name of it. It was a webcam website.
Pal Talk.
I used to pay for a membership for Pal Talk, and one of the best things is while the show's used to go on, these girls that were fans of Opie and Anthony would just be sitting there shoving vibrators in their butt, and all of us would be watching. Even while they're doing a radio show, everyone would be watching that shit also.
Yeah. Didn't you show me that once at the tattoo place? Yeah, you were showing me. We were at the tattoo place.
Yeah.
And you were.
I broadcasted when you were getting your tattaoo.
Yeah. And Pal Talk.
On Pal Talk.
And then you're showing me, look at this girl. What the fuck is she doing?
That's
just regular girls finger banging themselves. Yep. The girl had 2 fingers in her butthole. And you're like, whoa, Jesus.
That was one of our first broadcasts, you know, doing that and doing green rooms. But I remember sitting there just with my laptop just pointing at you.
How many texts a day do you get to say death squad bitches?
Twitters? Yeah.
I said text. I meant, Twitters, Facebook messages.
Yeah.
It's funny how that all came out of some fucking silly meeting at the Opie and Anthony show. Mm-hmm. A dumb thing to name yourselves, Death Squad. But because somebody else named us, we're allowed to keep it.
Have you heard the band Death Squad? I think it's
called.
Is
there a band?
There's a couple bands called Death Squad.
Really?
Yeah. There's a song called Redban, which is actually pretty good to listen to.
B-A-N or B-A-N-D?
R-A-D-B-A-N. I think it's either the artist's name Redban or the song is called Redban. It's from Medina or something.
Wow. What year did it come out?
Like a year ago, 2 years ago, something like that.
Wonder if he's a fan.
I don't know.
Podcast fan. Maybe he likes you.
I don't know. It's weird. Do you ever want to sing again? Because you had that hit song, and I think somebody should dubstep that song.
I really did have a song. It was only a hit in one town though.
Tempe,
Phoenix. Yeah, in Tempe and Phoenix, Arizona. For whatever reason, there was these guys, Tim and Mark. Shit, why is it always like so hard to remember?
Well, that's what Alpha
pretty sure it's
for. You're supposed to take 4 a day.
I fucked up. I totally took 3. They were great guys, and they had a radio station down there, and they played it, and they were like one of the few people that ever played it, and for whatever reason, it took off in one town. Like, I sold way more records in Phoenix than I did anywhere else. It became one of the reasons why I filmed my 2005 special in Phoenix, because I just had a bigger draw there than almost anywhere. It was real weird. You know, and when I started doing stand-up, people were like, do the song. I'm like, I can't fucking sing. Like, I only did that song because it was like, it was broken up into like choruses. We could splice it all together. It was all done like in like on a computer with what is it called? What's Pro Tools? You know how they do it, move everything around. So it was like, if I just did it by myself, then I'd have to practice and actually like start singing it. Like I just want to do it for fun. And the idea was a Warner Brothers executive idea. His idea was if I came up with a song, then they could play something on the radio and it would help sell the CD. So the song was about voodoo pussy. The song was called Voodoo Punani. And you could probably find it it's probably not even on iTunes because I don't think that CD is on iTunes. I'm going to get it put on iTunes. My first CD from 1999. Warner Brothers was bought out by Disney in the middle of my my time there.
Warner Brothers Records.
Yeah, Warner Brothers Records. I think it was Disney, but they went like super family values, and my CD was dirty as fuck.
Right.
My CD started out with two guys fucking each other in the basement.
It's one of the most amazing. I'm sure everyone's heard it, but it was one of the most amazing skits ever.
It's one of my favorite things I've ever done because I knew that I could never do it anywhere else. I was like, I want to write something that's so fucked up, and it can't be on stage. I can't do it on stage because I'd act it out. It wouldn't be as funny. You want to do it visually? No, I don't want to see. I don't want to actually see it. It's better to actually just hear this. Right. And what it is two guys who are gay, but they try to pretend that they're not gay. They just really like lifting weights, and it always winds up them fucking each other. It always like, you got a fucking great ass. It's round and muscular. Really? Yeah. But dude, I don't even think I can get my cock in your ass. Oh, come on. And it became, just this thing. And, me and Brian Callen did it. Brian Callen's the other voice in it. And the fuck is her name? God damn it.
Kelly Kirsten.
Kelly Kirsten. Yes. Kelly Kirsten. For real.
I know.
Yeah. But you would say that name all the time. Kelly Kirsten.
Kelly Kirsten.
But you'd say it as Joey Diaz.
Yeah, that was like an Olive Garden between me and Joey Diaz.
Yeah, Kelly played my mom. Our mom. Mine and Brian's mom.
Shit's so funny.
And Ginger Lynn introduced Voodoo Punani on the CD. And I got to do a thing with her the other day. I did Dave's Old Porn with her. Dave's Old Porn is, first of all, Dave Attell is so fucking funny, man. He's just one of those guys that's like, and he works hard, man. In between takes, they got notes and notebooks and shit, and they're going over scenes and what's a good scene and what about this and that, and then you sit there and you watch these porns. And then you do like Mystery Science Theater. Remember that show? Mm-hmm. You've seen Dave's Old Porn. For those who haven't seen it, you're sitting on a couch with Dave and you're just kind of clowning on porn. Mm-hmm. And you realize the difference between porn then and now.
So much more hair.
So much more hair. So much more hair. And it was like they were all sexy.
The real boob look back then was one of my favorite things because they all had really nice, big, natural boobs.
Or small natural boobs.
Yeah, but they all kind of like hung a little, you know.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Like Ginger Lynn had small boobs, but they were really nice.
Yeah.
They weren't small. They were like, I would say Ginger's more like medium than small, but yeah.
And it seemed like bigger areolas were more popular back then. Or lately, maybe girls' areolas have been shrinking for some reason.
Maybe it's nature.
Cell phones.
Could be radiation that kills the bees. It's just strange watching. Like we were talking about whether or not society has changed or whether or not people have just got more access to it now. We see it more because of Twitter, but people have always been fucked up. And I say that porn is probably the best evidence that society's gotten more fucked up. Because there was like very little dark porn back then. There wasn't even any slapping. There's no dick slapping, and there was no pulling in the hair and shooting loads up their nose and stuff like that. Like they do like mean, angry shit now. It's like, and there's something hot about slobber all over your face and streaked mascara and
Asa Akira, man, her latest DVD is one of my favorites. I forget the guy. I think his name's Rocco or something like that. Fucking man, like dragging her by the hair.
Whoa.
And she's just gagging. He's just fucking.
Nacho something.
Nacho, Nacho. That dude's awesome. That dude is one.
I like the way he fucks.
I don't think I have any like I don't give a shit about porn guys much. Like I don't ever look
that's
out for
good.
one. But every time I see him in a movie,
You get excited?
He's cool. He's a cool
He
actor.
seems to be very violent with the girls.
He's great.
Dragging her around by their hair doesn't seem to be a nice thing to do. Somebody that you want to fuck. Do you think some girls like that?
Fuck
being
yeah.
dragged by their
yeah.
hair?
I never thought so, but yeah,
Wow.
they definitely do.
I know girls like being choked.
Yeah. Veronica always
Not
wanted
all
me
of
to
them.
slap me or slap her.
Yeah.
She always was like, slap me in the face. I'm like, no.
Whoa, don't say that because then you put it online, you fuck. And then-
She does bondage videos.
yeah, that's dark, dude. You don't want to
yeah.
be slapping you.
I would be like,
I don't want to connect me beating the fuck out of you with something that's sexual.
yeah.
That just seems like a bad idea. I had a girl that wanted to rape me. She wanted me to rape her, rather. She would tell me. She would want to rape me too, but you know, she would actually tell me that she wants me to rape her.
Yeah.
Like she wants to fight me off. I'm like, come on, that's not something you want to connect with sexuality with a
Yeah.
dude.
My sister always wanted me to do that.
What? Jesus, Brian. Don't you think that?
Wouldn't that be awful? Come on, Brian, rape me. No.
It's like that's a taboo subject because rape itself obviously is a deplorable act. But the fact remains that there are girls that get turned on by that deplorable act. There's girls that have these fantasies of getting like finding themselves in the wrong place and the wrong time, and a fucking pack of wild thugs come out with 14-inch cocks and just force her to suck their dicks while one guy bangs her from behind. There's girls who have fantasies. Like they're really scared, but they would really be excited, and they probably finger themselves thinking about that. And you know, they don't ever risk their actual physical well-being in life by putting themselves in a situation where that could happen. But the fact is, they could do that at any time. Girls can just drive around to a group of guys at any time and get out and go, "Hey boys, what's going on?"
Let's not talk about this.
And the guys be like, "Hey, what's up? Come on over here. You want to suck my cock?" "Yeah, I'd love to." Yeah, it's not hard for a girl to find a cock to
We
suck.
shouldn't talk about it because
Why?
once they figure that shit out,
What do you mean once they figure it out? They're just going to wander around and get dick? You don't think they know it already? Please, dude. Girls know it already. You don't think they know it already?
they know it.
Of course.
They just play stupid.
They have massive knowledge of their power. Women have power like a superhero. A hot girl in a bikini or a hot girl in a miniskirt walking through a mall. Every guy stops and you just immediately go like, "Oh, there is one." Why? Because you know that if you were alone naked with her and she was blowing you, it would be outstanding. It'd be such a great feeling to have that beautiful face sucking your cock.
75% chance, right? 75% chance that girl does not know how to give a good blowjob.
No, that's not true at all.
I think more girls suck at blowjobs than are good at it by a
think you're
larger
You're dating the wrong girl, son. It's very rare that you find a bad blowjob. It's hard to find a bad blowjob. If a girl's enthusiastic, just like if you're enthusiastic about her, if you're both turned on, she's going to give you good head. Like, you're going to eat her pussy good. Like, when you eat a girl's pussy, aren't you trying to, like, you want her to feel as good as you can make her feel.
Right.
That is the 100% goal. But that's a woman's goal, too, when she's blowing you. You just...
No, but I think maybe I'm more sensitive to teeth or something.
Maybe just getting some lazy bitches that are chewing on your dick.
That would suck. Have you ever had a girl do that, though?
Bite it?
Yeah.
No. Not, like, mad at me or anything. No.
No. I always feel like, like, especially back in the day when you did a lot of drugs and stuff, like, I always thought these girls were just going to snap out of it and just forget
God.
what they're doing and just start biting.
Mescaline flashback and chomp down on your ball bag. Some guy recently got bit on the balls by I think it was a cop got bit on the balls by a convict. Guy wouldn't let go of his balls either. It was biting him through the pants. Like they had the guy like strapped. Yeah. Think of that, man. Think of that.
Shit's happening, man.
Ouchie.
Bath salts. We're all going to be bitten the balls soon.
Yeah, there's other people that have done bath salts that say it's no big deal. I have a feeling that bath salts are a bunch of different fucking things.
Or it's just
More
how
than
your
one.
body reacts to bath salts, just like any other drug, It's just like fucking, you have somebody that's borderline schizo and they fucking smoke weed, that person becomes fucking psychotic.
That's a real good point. It's so true. People don't know, people say, "Hey man, should I do mushrooms?" I don't know you. What the fuck, are you crazy? I would never tell anybody to do anything, although I tell everybody they should do mushrooms. If
Drink.
But when I say everybody, I don't mean everybody. I just mean everybody that's not fucked up.
Right.
If you're barely holding on to reality, I don't recommend psychedelic drugs. I don't recommend alcohol for sure. I don't recommend anything, but get your shit together. You know, go to a doctor, find out what's wrong, you know, whatever you got to do, get your shit together. That's more important than psychedelics.
Dude, that fucking cat helicopter shit that everyone's been fucking flooding the tweets with.
If you haven't heard about it, explain it to all the folks at home.
Somebody's cat died, and to remember him, he liked to make helicopters or something like that. And so he turned his cat into a helicopter. He stuffed it and it made like his paws like spread out, kind of like, you know, that's like doing a snowman in the snow. And each one of them had like a helicopter fan on it. And then so he sits there and flies this dead cat around. And at first I watched it and I was horrified. And then I was like, this is the coolest thing in the whole entire world. I hope this catches on, because I could just imagine a bunch of cats, helicopters flying in the sky, and that would be cool if it became popular.
That's how Al Qaeda's going to attack.
Yeah. But if there was cats everywhere in the sky at all times, they could be going down Sunset and there's everyone had their old dead cats. Like, that'd be cool. There'd be tons of cats everywhere.
This really is crazy.
But then I was thinking, what if it crashes and then it's like fucking nose falls off because it hits concrete or something? That would be disturbing.
That would
so now I think it's creepy again.
Well, you just got to put a helmet on him.
Yeah, but then you can't see its little fucking cat face. That's the funniest face ever.
You put a large plexiglass dome over his head like he's a space cat.
Right.
Even better. So now he's wearing a spacesuit. His head is...
Cool. That's actually pretty cool.
That's actually awesome.
Or actually get the clear film companies that do the iPad like clear films to make like a clear armor, like have an armor for your cat where it's just like some kind of crystallized shit.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Did you hear that there's another drone attack that killed some top Al Qaeda guy?
Yeah, wasn't that Persian?
Was it Persian?
Or was it Siamese cat? Can you imagine if the army starts really using cat weapon? That'd be awesome.
Can you imagine if like there was a country where like they used flying pigs because like the Muslims would be terrified of
cows,
pigs flying through the air?
Flying cows.
Only if you go to war with India. Yeah, they killed some dude in Pakistan. That's what it is. That's kind of fucked up, man, that we're not really in Pakistan, but Pakistan is the place where we try out all of our newest shit.
Right.
You know,
why is that?
Because we can get away with it. We must have some sort of a weird deal with the government, or the government won't say anything. We're sending spaceships into their air. I mean, we're sending like some science fiction things that we're controlling from halfway around the world with a remote control, and they're launching missiles. I mean, it's really crazy that they're allowed to do that. I'm 100% in supporting getting rid of bad guys and taking all the terrorists out and all that happy horse shit, the legit terrorists. But this is a crazy little precedent to set that you're allowing spaceships to fly around and launch missiles, Hellfire, bunker buster fucking missiles at these people. That's what they're called, Hellfire. They're allowed to spray rockets from the sky and blow you out of the road. You're just wandering along. You don't even know they're there. They're like a mile away, and a rocket comes and fucking you would disappear. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing that that's how we're doing war right now in Pakistan. That's the peak of the technological war right now is going on right there, and very few people are even aware of it. You know, you just hear drone attack. That's what you hear, you know, on the radio, or drone attack on CNN. But you don't really stop and think about what the fuck that means. There's a remote-controlled flying object that launches missiles at people, and they're watching a camera through it halfway around the world, pressing buttons and launching these things. It's incredible. The technology is it's amazing what they can do now. Then that one that crashed in Iran, there was another moment where life feels like a fake movie, where they fucking captured our shit, and Obama goes to the news and talks about it. Well, we've asked for it back. That's what he said. We've asked for it back. Hey, you know that thing that we were flying around and we might have just shot rockets at you from the sky? Yeah, can you give that to us so we could do that again?
That's weird.
Like they asked for it back. Could you imagine if
weird.
Iran had some shit flying around over here taking pictures of us? Something that's got the capability of shooting missiles.
That's crazy. But it didn't have any missiles on it, though, right?
No, that one didn't. No,
I could see that.
The one in Iran
was
didn't.
just.
I wonder how far they can go. I wonder how far they can
Super
fly.
far, probably.
I bet some of them are solar powered, right?
Probably.
They must have at least something solar. Have you seen that Fisker, the new solar powered automobile? It's not solar powered. It's only partially solar powered. The like stereo and things along those lines.
That's cool.
The roof is a series of solar panels.
Yes, I have seen that.
It's a fucking beautiful car, man. You take a picture, look at it
Yeah.
online. It's like they finally got it right because these shitty ass fucking Priuses and these disgusting things. Oh, by the way, number 9, ninth person I've ever seen throw a fucking cigarette out the window of their Prius. You twats. I'm watching all you hypocrite cunts. It's just such a... I know, some people do it for economy. I understand that it's not just... But I like to think that they're green and they're just hypocrites.
Yeah, I mean, I would buy one. It would just be because I don't feel like spending $90 every time I fill my tank up.
Yeah, well, this is this is a beautiful fucking car, man. This Fisker. Look at this thing, man. Take a peek at that. Look at that shit. It's amazing, man.
What's it say? Recalls?
Yep, they
It's
recalled
already
them.
been recalled.
They already recalled them. There was a fire-prone hose clamp. This was a while ago. Oh no, it wasn't. It's today.
That's crazy. Recall. Realize partly cloudy days will be stranded.
I thought it said January 5th. It's June 5th. Oof. Yeah, it's a fucking beautiful car, though. They're so slow, though. I'm just so used to the pep of a car that's quick, you know. Now I don't drive like an asshole, but I do love the engineering, the responsiveness of like a well-engineered car.
Pirate Dice was at the comedy store last night. And he came
Yeah, he's going pirate now, right?
Yeah, he's
Dice
pirate.
Clay
Yeah,
wears a pirate patch
to get discounts at stores. Is what the people say. He says.
because he says he's handicapped
He
now.
says he's a vet, and if they don't have a vet, then he goes a senior discount. Is what he's been telling people or something.
Are you
I think
serious?
I think that's what he's been saying.
He's
or no, handicap discount. Not senior.
How hilarious is his idea? I only take 10 shirts and then let the bidding begin. Oh!
But he had his car there. He had a what's the Charger? Not the Charger, but what's the
Challenger?
one? Challenger. I think it
Yeah.
was Buick. Or,
No, they're Dodge.
Dodge.
Yeah. Buick.
Hemi. His car was amazing, man. It made me want to get
Oh,
one.
yeah. Those are sick.
How much are those? They're
They're
not, that, bad,
much,
right?
man. No, I think fully loaded, they're like 40 grand.
Oh, wow.
And they're beautiful. That shape is just so iconic. The Challenger shape. It's just like, you know what it's like? It's like my old Barracuda, but it's not going to leave you stranded every couple days.
Right.
Those old cars, man, they look so badass, but the design involved in them, like, it's so crude. Like drum brakes, they're so crude. Like you hit the brakes, it's like, whee! And they barely stop the car. It takes forever. Now they have cars like the new Porsche, the 991, which is the new 911. The new Porsche 911 that just came out can stop from, I think it's 60 miles an hour to 0 in less than 100 feet. That's like crazy. They do it in 96 feet.
Wow.
The new Corvette can do that too. Less than 100 feet from 60 to 0. The old days, that shit would take you a mile. It was 60 miles an hour. Not a mile, but it would if you locked up, it takes a long ass time to stop the car. Now it's anti-lock brakes and traction control and all the new shit that you can do now. The old cars are retarded. They're just useless to have unless you're just a hobbyist who loves the idea of like this old mechanical thing that you're switching the gears and all that. There's a lot of people that really do enjoy that. But what the Challenger's done is they've gotten like most of that old look and put it into a new car. You know, they figured out how to keep that shape. It's not a good shape for handling. It's terrible. Like the design is not, it's not smart. And it's like a big heavy car too. So like they're not that good around corners and shit like that. Not like a Corvette or not like a car that's designed to do that. But you know, for regular driving, they're great.
Yeah.
Aubrey has one of those.
Yeah.
So does Tom Green.
I was either thinking about selling my car because my car gets horrible gas mileage and getting something like that because I'm about to pay off my car finally. And I'm like, oh, I finally own this piece of shit.
Right.
It's not a piece of shit. It's a great car. But, and get something like that. Or just get a really shitty small car, like something like one of those little baby Fiats or what those, you know, like the teeny little cheap cars.
Well, dude, if you wanted to get a Mustang, if you wanted to trade your Ford in, because maybe Ford would give you a good deal.
Oh, yeah. I never thought about it. Ford on Ford.
Yeah, the Mustang, the Boss 302, is not expensive. It's not expensive at all. Yeah, the new Mustang Boss 302, I think, is like $35,000, and they fucking fly. And the new Mustang GT, just the GT is a fucking really good car, man. The GT is 400 plus horsepower just for the Mustang GT. And it's a little bit crude in its design. It has a live axle, which it means the back end sort of bumps around a little bit, but it's a really fun car to drive.
Why would they do that?
Why would they do what? Live axle?
Yeah. What's the
well,
benefit?
it helps drag racing. It helps keep the power down. I mean, it's not that bad. What it is it's an older way of designing suspensions, but they made the best out of it. It handles well. I mean, it doesn't handle as good as a car with independent rear suspension, but I mean, the Mustang 302, the Boss 302, it laps racetracks faster than that Audi R8. That Audi space-looking car that Everlast has. You know that thing. This bus, the Laguna Seca Boss Mustang, can lap racetracks quicker than that.
Wow.
Which is pretty amazing. Yeah, and it's they only have I think it's only 400 and something horsepower. Yeah, but it's a dope car. It's like one of the best bargain cars. I think it's if you wanted to get a bargain for like performance, you can only go American. There's no real bargains in as far as like foreign cars for performance.
Yeah.
Like American cars, like
Hyundais are not bad. And they're pretty-
Hyundais?
Hyundais or
what the little sports car
Yeah.
thing they have. Yeah, but you don't get that kind of performance. You don't
Right.
get 400 plus horsepower like you get in a Mustang.
Right.
That's you're just not gonna get that. You're not gonna get that kind of oomph. It's like if you want a fast car that's a foreign car, there's a few Japanese cars that are pretty quick. Like the 370Z is pretty quick, but they can't fuck with like this Mustang. But then you got to get to like big money, like the Nissan GTR, which is like $100,000. Then shit gets crazy because then the Japanese have one of the best production cars, one of the fastest, best handling cars in the world. But you have to get right to there before you get that kind of performance.
I went to Universal Studios for my first time the other day. And,
did you really?
Yeah, and it's funny because the first one I went on was the Terminator 2 ride, which it's been a while since that movie came out.
Right.
And I almost freaked out because they make you get in this. Have you been on that ride before?
No.
They make you get in this huge room. And like I have no idea if this is a
Oh yeah,
roller
I did
coaster.
go in that. Yeah, I did go in that. Sorry, yeah.
And then you're sitting there with all these people, like, and then the door's shut, and you're just like, all right, this is where the gas comes out, and we all get murdered, or something, and we couldn't leave, and then suddenly there was just this bad acting job where like this lady comes out and like, hi, welcome to whatever, we are here in the future. Anyways, all her shit. Her computers behind her, since the ride is so old, like it used to look like it was supposed to be the future, but now looks really sad and depressing, like a garage sale, like monitor and like you know what I mean? And it's totally outdated. And you don't. And then she's like, before we go into the next room, I want you to look at this. And it's a video that I'm guessing when the movie came out, which was what, 93 or something.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. That all these things seemed really futuristic, but now half the shit that they showed you could do on your iPhone. And it was so weird. Like, imagine in the future, your grandmother's far away and you want to talk to her. How about talking to her on your wall? And you're like, yeah, I could do that on my phone now, and
That's
everything.
ridiculous.
It was like, imagine like being able to like control, like a doctor can sit somewhere else and control an operation far away. You can do that now. Doctors are doing that now. And it's weird. Like all this shit was so perfect.
Do doctors do remote control operations?
Yeah, I think it's at the very beginning stages, but there has been successful operations where they've done that from remote locations and stuff like that, using advanced computers and robots. And
Wow, that scares the shit out of me.
that's scary.
Somebody open you up and remote control operating on you?
Yeah. So then I was really scared though because I was like really freaking out how shitty this ride was. I'm like, damn, this, why does Universal have this? But then you go into the next room and you watch this really old 3D movie, and the 3D was really good,
Right.
for its age. And then there's this one point where there's also live actors mixed in, like in the theater. So like this guy would come out in a motorcycle, and then he had like a shotgun, and he'll shoot somebody like a real like that. You're like, holy shit, that you could hear it sound like a gunshot. And then he'll like disappear off the stage, and it looks like he goes back into the 3D movie. Shit like that. So it was kind of interesting. And then they have 2 more 3D screens that go around you. I mean, this is an old ride, so everyone's probably like, yeah, dude, welcome to 93. But the 3D was coming out at all sides. It was really awesome. And I guess there's a new Transformers ride there that just takes that to the whole next level. And so
Wasn't there a Spider-Man one that did that too?
I don't know.
Or was that in Orlando? I think that's in Orlando.
I don't know. And then there was the Simpsons ride, where it was a virtual roller coaster where, it's one of those things where the whole thing moves, but you go into this like fucking dome where the whole dome is a movie, and it's really trippy. If I want to do shrooms and do that, because I think I'll die and go to heaven, because you go into this huge room, you're like, holy shit. And then you feel like you're going through this roller coaster. There's parts where a huge Maggie would like try to grab your roller coaster, and they spray like baby powder smell. So you start smelling baby powder, and you're like, it's fucking badass what they're. I always heard.
Is it scary, like for like a little kid? Because I take a 4-year-old to that.
Fuck, I was scared, but I was thinking of other things, because I was like, holy shit, is this one of those elevator drop rides where you drop? Because I thought I was gonna freak out.
It is weird how they can pull that effect off while just showing you a screen and then moving things around.
It works, and I wasn't even stoned. If I was stoned, I would fucking be. We should go sometime, man. I got a season pass now. It's only $20 more.
What was the big one that they had? They had that one famous one there. Was it Jurassic Park?
They have Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
I think. Wait, did they have Jurassic? No, I parked at Jurassic Park. Yes, they must have had Jurassic.
Yeah, I feel like there's a Jurassic Park ride, right?
No, but they have a Waterworld one still there, which was fucking creepy. Who wants to see a shitty...
At Universal?
Yeah.
Oh, that is the Jurassic Park one. There's a water scene in it. You're in like a log.
No, the movie Waterworld. They have a whole
Waterworld. The movie Waterworld. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it was still there. They have a King Kong one. That's the one. In the Jaws one is the one that you...
King Kong's pretty new.
Is it King Kong one?
It's within the last couple of years.
Oh, they redid it.
Yeah, it's the new King Kong from like 4 years ago or 5 years ago.
Yeah. I didn't go to it. I only went to those 2 because I went on a Sunday.
How many King Kongs have there been? There was the original one, which is fucking awesome to watch today. You ever watch it today?
The original one?
Yeah.
Yeah. The one in 1984 was my favorite one. I think it was 1984. That was my favorite one.
That was the Dino De Laurentiis one with Jessica Lange.
Yeah, I liked that one back in the day. I haven't seen it since. Yeah,
that was trip. And Jessica Lange played a broad that was just ditzy enough to fall in love with a fucking giant gorilla.
Right.
She was just ditzy enough where you could buy it and believe it. The latest one was fucking incredible, man. The latest one, when you go back and you see like the newest King Kong and compare it to the oldest King Kong, the oldest one is like, wow, what a window into a different world. You ever see, is it called Metropolis? Mm-hmm. That old, really old sci-fi movie?
Yeah.
Wow, it's incredible what they thought the future was going to be like.
The style of that movie was so amazing.
Well, even like the old Alien, like I'm fucking psyched. Prometheus is coming out this weekend. But if you watch the original Alien, when they were on that spaceship, what a bunch of whack-ass fucking fake equipment they had.
Oh, yeah.
Everything was all lights and shit, and the monitors, these shitty little green tint monitors. Because essentially this is before the user interface, the graphic user interface that what we think of as computers today. Everybody thinks of a Mac or a PC and clicking on things. There was no clicking on anything back then. What people don't understand is the first computers, when the movie Alien came out, they were like, it was all just like green print on a screen. You weren't downloading anything, bitch. It was like 1979 or something, right? There was no downloading. There were just these weird things that sat around in laboratories. So they never predicted, like not even remotely what the future was going to hold. They didn't see that even. They didn't see anything coming. They didn't even see it a little. It's kind of fucking crazy when you stop and think about what a big difference the graphic user interfaces played. The ability to click on things, and just when you look at a smartphone, like I was looking at that big giant ass Note. I love that thing. I got Note envy.
Wait, new iPhone.
Yeah, I don't
Have you
think
seen the new pictures of the new iPhone?
No.
It's like it's pretty much the same, but the whole thing's almost all screen.
Really?
Yeah.
But it is not bigger.
No, but the screen is like if you look at your iPhone now, it doesn't take up even like what 75% of the phone.
But now it's most of the phone.
It's all like from wall to wall, up and down.
Oh, well, that's gonna be nicer.
I mean, the Note.
Definitely.
The Note is cool because it's a small tablet, and I'm pretty sure my money is all on that Apple is releasing a smaller version of the iPad that will kind of compete with the Note because they're going to use it also as a remote control for their new TV that will come out soon.
Really?
But so that will take over that. But I don't think the Note as a phone is. I think it's the dumbest thing ever. Like I saw this person use it, and have you ever seen them? Like hold it up
to their head.
It looks like they're gonna break their hand.
You can watch the tumors grow in their brain
Yeah,
as
right.
they're holding it up to their head.
Yeah.
The fucking thing is enormous. But it looks beautiful though, man. It's fucking.
I tell you what, man. I got
incredible.
I got this new iPad, the latest one with the Verizon service on it. That makes a huge difference because this is my first iPad with the service on it. But the hotspot feature is faster than my high-speed business class internet at Death Squad.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But you only get to use a little bit of it before they fuck you in the ass.
You know what? You would think that, but I used it pretty hardcore, and you don't really know unless you're downloading movies.
I downloaded one movie and I got an email
Yeah,
from
well,
them.
that's the one thing. If
But
you
that's
download,
ridiculous.
But if you everything else,
that's ridiculous. If
Yeah.
you have an iPad,
Yeah.
and you download one movie, and they're
Right.
like, "Oh, you're fucked."
Well,
you're like, "What do you mean I'm fucked?"
that's the whole thing. Because if everyone downloaded one movie all the time, then there would be there's not that much internet.
They need to fix that. That's
Right.
ridiculous. That's when you use mobile internet. You know, it's offensive how much it costs.
They just need to expand Wi-Fi so it hits everybody. So we have Wi-Fi everywhere, not cell phone
and
network
then
everywhere.
every bee's gonna be dead.
We could put fucking hotspots on all the helicopter cats.
You know, in Aspen, it's free Wi-Fi for the whole city. People just sit out there in the middle of nowhere and just fucking. I bet this website's probably blocked. JoeRogan.net.
Oh
But
yeah,
it's blocked.
I think they did block. They've tried that in a lot of cities. There's a lot of cities that do that.
I was happy when I couldn't get to my website from Dubai. I was like, look at that, bitch. I'm too dangerous.
Yeah.
Too dangerous for your Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
There's a good argument for that, but we don't know what the fuck is happening with all these different wire signals in the air. People can say nothing. We're adapting to them, but there's something going on, man.
Nipples are shrinking.
When you can send, no areolas. when you can send images and ones and zeros, and you send them through the air, and there's something else that picks them up and receives them. That's a crazy thing. You're sending a signal, and where the signal is just in the air.
It makes no sense.
Is that hitting me? Is it all over me? When someone's like Wi-Fi and like crazy near you, are you getting pelted by like random information as it makes its way from the internet somehow or another into their computer? Where's it going from? Is it passing through your dimension at all? I mean, that is like some interdimensional fucking transportation of. I mean, the physical object of a piece of paper that you print and you turn, into a photograph that you just got from the internet. I mean, that is a way where something physical just gets created and it wasn't there before. It's sent to you and printed up. Like that's a crazy thing, man. It's really crazy that we can just do that. And we just don't even think about the fact there's television signals and radio signals and internet signals and cell phone signals and all these different signals going around. And I don't know if they're affecting us. I have no idea. It might be that we would all feel a little bit better if we didn't have them.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Too bad there's not really any place in the world that you could probably not have
You have to go to
complete zero signals.
You have to go to somewhere that really sucks.
Like Alaska.
Antarctica or something.
Antarctica, I mean.
Yeah, Alaska has cell phones.
No, I meant Antarctica.
They have
but they
cities.
would still probably have some kind of signal, I would bet, up there. Like at least satellite or something.
Maybe. But satellite doesn't work everywhere. It depends on where the satellite's, where you can receive it. Like, I don't think you can get XM radio in Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I rented a car there once, and I was trying to listen to Opie and Anthony, and I rented a Cadillac, and I was like looking for the satellite button. And I pressed the satellite button. There was nothing going on, and I was like, I don't think this shit works here. I forgot to look it up though, but I don't think it does. But I'm not sure. But you could always get it online.
Right.
which is what everybody's going to do eventually anyway. You're going to have they're going to be selling phone, or rather radios, that come with your car that connect to the internet and allow you to download podcasts. If you have a Ford, you already have Stitcher. There's the new Fords have that Stitcher app built in.
Fucking mad, man. I want that so bad. That's the thing I hate. I hope if anyone that designs these Fords and these awesome new cars with these new stereos that have these apps like Stitcher, it's called Sync for Ford. I have that, but there's no way to upgrade it so I can get that shit. And that's not fair. That's
What do you mean? You can only get it if you buy a new car?
Yeah, you have to. They have them. Ford's been releasing their hardware in series, so like you have Sync version 1, 2, 3, and you can't it's not like an iPhone where like you have
just
an old,
upgrade it.
You can upgrade it. You can't do that, and it really makes me mad because I can't. What am I going to just tear out?
Yeah,
my
that's
stereo?
whack. The computer in your car, it should be interchangeable and upgradable.
Well,
it should be like something you pull out and put a new one in.
They're just being cheap, and they're telling their software developers to move on to the next stuff and just abandoning. That's almost should be illegal because my car is like a 2008. You know, it should. I haven't been able to update it in 3 years. So
yeah, that is kind of fucked. It's like a planned obsolescence.
Yeah,
I mean, it really is. The fact that it's the computer itself isn't upgradable. How long do you expect people to compete? To keep that car? Because when you really think about like all the different law, what is it, Moore's law for computers?
Right.
We stop and think about how quickly computers become obsolete.
Yeah, like imagine having a classic Corvette and it had a black and white television in it.
Yeah,
come on.
exactly.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, those knuckleheads though that like those really classic cars, they want like classic hubcaps. They want everything. They want to time travel so they can go back in high school and fuck their 15-year-old girlfriend.
Oh, I see him all the time, man. Living in Burbank, that's like that big boy there.
Oh,
week. Fucking Leno driving around in a fucking fire truck, waving at you like he's the Pope. Fucking Burbank's the creepiest place ever.
How weird is it? Jay waves at everybody.
Oh, he's the nicest guy, dude.
He's the nicest guy ever.
I see him all the time, like walking the streets and
he waves
talking
at
to people.
They were shitting all over him on the radio today on Stern.
Really?
Him and Joan Rivers.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard the rest of that. Joan Rivers is pretty funny.
She's ruthless, man. She's still fucking slinging heat. Joan Rivers is still going to war with chicks. It's hilarious, man. She's still struggling. She's still fighting. She's like 79 something years old, and she still does stand up. She's still obsessed with work. And
Have you ever met Jenny McCarthy?
No. Yeah, I met her once. I met her, and she was really nice, and I stopped doing a joke about her.
Oh, what was it?
I had a joke about that I heard that Jenny McCarthy was going to get her breast implants taken out. I said that's like Tiger Woods chopping his fucking arms off.
Dude, that's not bad. I would.
Why don't you put them back in and make them bigger and no talking?
She was on Howard Stern yesterday, and I forgot about her, because she married Jim Carrey, and you're just kind of like, all right, she's dead to me.
Did she marry Jim Carrey?
Or
I think they just dated.
Oh, maybe. I thought they married. But now they're separated, and she was on Howard Stern just talking about how much, she's a dirty girl, and she was talking about how much she masturbates, how much she needs cock, that shit. And then you go online, you're like, what's she look like now? And you go to her Twitter, and you're like, holy shit, she's still fucking hot as hell, and she's a nympho, and she lives in the valley somewhere.
So what are you saying, dude?
I need to find out what she does. See if she wants a podcast.
Do you think you could get with that?
Jenny McCarthy?
You think you could pull that off?
I don't think so, but
but you never know. I don't think you could pull off half the girls you've pulled off already, right?
True.
Yeah, so why not her? Why not just make a complete fantasy land? Why not just go full on Coen Brothers movie?
Well, my mission was Lindsay Lohan. I thought that would be a bigger mission. That's harder, I think.
Please, I know guys that fucked her. I don't know anybody that's fucked Jenny McCarthy.
True. You know Jim Carrey.
I don't know that guy.
Oh.
Do you know him?
No. I thought maybe you knew him from the Comedy Store days.
No, I've never met him. He kind of stopped doing stand-up a long time ago. Some of those guys, that's interesting. Stand-up gets them to the dance, and then once they get to the dance, then they just become an actor. A lot of dudes do that.
What was... Did you ever do Comedy Store shit with Mark Maron? Were you there at that same time period as him, or
no? He was there a long time ago. He was really young, and he was there with Kinnison.
He was the door guy.
Kinnison was alive. Yeah. By the time I got into stand-up, Kinnison only had a couple years of life left. He died when I lived in New York, so I think it was probably 90. I want to say 92. That Kinnison died, somewhere along those lines. So I still hadn't made my way out to LA yet. And Maron got in deep with Kinnison when he was a kid. He was hanging around with them, and he got to see the crazy dark coke years.
Oh, yeah.
He got to see the chaos and all that shit. That story about Kinnison fathering Carl LeBeau's wife's child is just so fucked up. So fucked up, man. He thought that it was his daughter for the longest time. And then a DNA test reveals it was Sam Kinnison's kid. You just think of his wife just laying there and letting Fat Sam climb on top of her and shoot his loads inside of her. And you go, what kind of a fucking friendship did they have? What kind of a world were they living in? What kind of decadence and depravity? What kind of Hollywood chaos was going on? Where Kinnison was just banging his friend's best friend, opening act wife on the side and shooting loads into her. Ow, ow!
It amazes me that dude got a lot of fucking pussy. Like, he was on the Howard Stern calling, and he had like 4 girls in his bed.
You're amazed at that, but you're not amazed when you get pussy. That's
No,
strange.
I mean, well, that's one at a time. I don't know. Sam Kinison was a big guy, and I don't know. I was not very attractive, really. I mean, like, I never thought Kinnison was. I guess he was bigger than I thought he was. Back in the day, I never thought he
got
him
bigger.
as a big comic.
Oh, you mean big like physically, or you mean big like notoriety?
Notoriety.
He was huge.
Yeah. See, I didn't see that because I wasn't into the comedy scene. I only knew what I saw on TV, and I always thought the big guys were like Robin Williams and Eddie
Yeah,
Murphy.
he was big too. They were all big.
Yeah.
But Kinnison was huge, dude. Kinnison, I found out about Kinnison in '86, and all my friends knew about Kinnison. Everybody knew Kinnison. When I went to see Kinnison live, I brought a bunch of my friends. Everybody was fucking psyched to see Kinnison live. We saw Kinnison live. I saw Carlin live before I ever did stand up. I got to see Carlin live.
I love Carlin.
I got to see Carlin bomb.
Really?
He ate shit. It did not work out. It wasn't good. He got to this weird stage in his life in like the late 80s. This is before I had done comedy, and I was maybe I'd done like an open mic night, maybe one or something like that. But it was me and my roommates, and we were out in New Hampshire. We saw him there's a casino up there, and they do shows there. And that was the place where everybody would go up from Boston during the summer. We'd all go up to this casino. Was it Hampton Beach? I think that's it. I don't remember. Anyway, we were all there, and George Carlin had this weird thing that he was doing, where he just had like a notepad, and he was just reading off, fuck this and fuck that. It was like this whole, and fuck Israel and fuck this and fuck, like the whole bit was like, it wasn't really working. It was weird. It was like there was all this energy and there was all this, push into it. And it was fascinating for me to watch because I was like, this is George Carlin. I mean, George Carlin is like an all-time great comic. But at this point in his life, it wasn't working out. That night, I don't know what it was, but my friend looked over at me and goes, this guy fucking sucks. And I was like, wow. I couldn't even say anything because I had dragged them there. They weren't comedians. I had dragged them to go see George Carlin. And he was eating it. It was weird. And I stopped listening to him for like a year or two, and then he had like warning explicit lyrics, I think was one of his CDs, which was great. And I was like, whew, he got it back. It was almost like, he just had a bad he did so much stand up.
Everyone has a bad set,
It wasn't just a bad set. It was a
phase.
it was a bad set, like not that night, but set out. The way it was written. It was just he went through a period of like, I don't know how many decades where he made a new hour every year. So because of that, he was so fucking prolific. He would essentially like write a whole new monologue, a long monologue every year. And to do that and still have something to say after all those years, you're going to hit some stumbling blocks along the way. I mean, you're going to have some awkward moments. Like if you go to see like Louis C.K., this is very possible that Louis working on new shit right now. You know what I mean? Like he's always got new shit. If you do that, it's so hard to maintain the quality. It's so hard, to every year a new hour. What the fuck, man? God damn. you wonder how many you would have to start doing things like specifically to write material.
Like
all
go to
right,
Universal Studios.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, go to you're gonna go
I try to do
somewhere
it once a week now. Just do stupid shit like that.
Just
all the
to
time.
get material?
Yep, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
a good
It's kind of
move.
cool because it makes you do more things.
and it's a two-edged sword because you still enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're going
Sometimes.
to do some cool shit. Like, well, what have you done that you didn't like doing?
Fuck. What was that recently? There was something recently that I did. Oh, well, no, that was still fun. Going to that black strip club. That was cool. But no, I can't think of. There was something I did recently that was really boring. I can't even think of what it was. But I remember thinking like, well, that was doing mushrooms in a shitty hotel in Venice.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was horrible.
That's not a good move.
But
yeah,
I still got kind of material from it. Yeah, kind of, I guess.
what kind of material did you get?
Oh, it's just like on stuff I haven't really tried out too much, but you
About
can
how bad the
you can tell
situation-
you can tell you're in a bad area where everywhere you look there's evidence,
Right.
and
That's
stuff
true.
like that. They're just like all these tags that I've kind of built up and trying to make into sets. But I don't know, things like that. I've been doing more. Now, I've never done that, but usually once a week I try to do something crazy. Like I want to go to Magic Castle. I want to like.
I've never been.
Yeah, I've never been, but I want to go there and just get drunk.
My friend Zach at Jiu-Jitsu was a magician.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's always inviting me to go there. But you know what? You have to wear like a jacket and a tie.
Oh, I know. And there's always
least-
creepy actors there I heard. Like every time you go, there's somebody weird there. You're like, why is that person here? That's-
Like who? Like some guy from the 80s?
no, not even that. Like, shit, what's his name? I think I don't want to say, but I don't know what his name is. But it's somebody you're like, wow, really? Like that guy's here?
I saw that Stephen Baldwin is suing Kevin Costner. For Kevin Costner has apparently he owns a piece of some company that makes a machine that takes oil out of water, which is pretty surreal. It doesn't
During the
make
Exxon
sense.
spill or that last big spill, he donated
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
to that.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
When you stop and think that somehow or another Kevin Costner is a part of this. I don't know how he got to be a part. I don't know what the story behind it is.
Waterworld, bro.
It might have been. Well, I bet they paid him a fuckload of money for Waterworld. I mean, Waterworld, it wasn't like
It was one of the biggest budget movies of all time at that
Right.
time, and it made them or lost the most, I guess.
I don't know if it lost the most, but it lost a shitload.
Yeah.
You should look that shit up, find out if it did. But I remember when it came out, I was like, God, what a fucking crazy idea. This movie sucks.
Yeah, I never watched the whole thing.
Who the fuck thought they could film a whole movie on the water? That's so hard to do. Just to get your shit out there, get your goddamn equipment out there in the water. Everything's getting wet and fucked up. You're dropping your camera in the water all the time. It's so stupid, and the premise sucks anyway. Everything's water now? Okay, so you
I
have
could
jet
kind of
skis
see
everywhere?
that though in the future. Like where like earthquakes, everything fell into the ocean or something like that.
There would be way more sharks. If that was the case, there'd be way more sharks. Everybody would be jacking like sharks and all sorts of things would be grabbing people, pulling them under, starfish and shit, octopuses, grabbing them, dragging them underwater. There'd be a lot of that because we'd be like little bobbers everywhere.
Kevin Costner was on the set of that movie 157 days, working 6 days a week. For a movie, that's a long ass time.
For a movie that sucked, a big fat bag of dicks.
Here we go. Widely considered to be one of the biggest box office bombs of all times, although it grossed $255 million from a $175 million budget. This does not factor in marketing and distribution charges or percentage of the gross that theaters keep, which is up to 45%. The film came to be nicknamed Kevin's Gate after Heaven's Gate and Fishtar after Ishtar, two mega bombs.
Yeah, Ishtar was a huge
Never saw that
bomb.
either. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, I think I watched part of it when I was a kid, but I don't remember. It was Warren Beatty and Dustin Hoffman, and I don't even know what the fuck it was about. And what was the other one that they said was a big bomb?
The other one I never even heard of, but it was called Heaven's Gate.
Yeah, I think that was a Warren Beatty movie too. Was that a Warren Beatty?
No, that's Chris Christopherson, Christopher Walken, and John Hurt. It actually got a 6.5 on IMDb, but
But just bomb.
has a pretty cool cover or poster.
Never saw it.
Never saw
but
it.
Ishtar, I remember Ishtar was a bomb. And it was not just a bomb, but everybody talked about what a bomb
culture.
it was. So
Yeah.
it became a massive bomb. Like, oh my God, have you seen Ishtar? What a piece of shit. Like, they didn't even see it, and they were just saying it was a piece of shit.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, I used Ishtar as a reference as something cheap or shitty. Like, you know, like I would say things where, that's like Ishtar.
Oh,
or something
really?
Like that. Yeah, like that was.
Meanwhile, it was like super expensive. Probably because they had to pay Dustin Hoffman and Warren Beatty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how much Kevin Costner made for 157 days on that piece of shit movie.
Yeah, right.
We had some guys from Fear Factor, stunt guys that worked on that. They were saying it was hell.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, it sounds pretty ridiculous. Just the idea behind it, man. You're going to make a fucking movie where everything's floating. Stop it, you silly bitch. Like, well, the best one, though, wasn't even that. The best one was The Postman. Did you ever see that?
No, I never watched that. That was horses, right? It was like him on horses.
It was in the future. After the shit hits the fan, Kevin Costner is a fucking hero because he delivers letters to people. He's the postman.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God, dude. It's so bad you can't believe it's real. And the acting is so bad. The acting is like ABC after school special acting. Like, there's no way it seems real. It's like, shut up, Mom. Get out of my room. Like, it just does not seem, there's nothing realistic about it at all. And the premise is dog shit.
Yeah. And did you hear about fucking THQ and EA?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, the UFC is going to make their new video game with EA. And apparently THQ bought it, or EA bought it from THQ.
You know, I feel bad. THQ shut down the developer that that did it. Shut down their office yesterday. Right, E3 just closed down, and they didn't have a booth at this year's E3 because I'm going to E3 tomorrow, and I wanted to talk to them about UFC and all that crap like that. And they were like, "And we don't even have a booth. We're meeting at a hotel." And I'm like, "Whoa, something's going down." But then, yeah, I think, THQ did a really good job with that game. And THQ, I thought, with Saints Row, I mean, Saints Row just released a map pack that Ryan Keeley, who does, podcasts with me, she's in the new map pack. So they're actually combining video games with Penthouse now, which I thought was cool.
That is smart.
Yeah.
But I think they're losing a lot of money, man. The UFC game was the only game apparently that was making good money.
Now, are you going to be? Do you know yet? Are you going to be doing the EA games of this yet, or has that been announced?
I'm sure I'll probably do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pain in the dick, but it's worth it in the long run. It's the finished product. They're very thorough.
Yeah.
Like we did so much commentary. You don't get too much repeat like words. Like there's all sorts of different versions of things that you do and like transitions, like arm bar to knee bar, transition from the triangle to the arm bar, like all that different kind of stuff. Like we voice them all individually, so there's so many moves you can do. It's like really kind of crazy that you look at that thing, that remote control, and you're supposed to be able to figure that out, like down here and up there and left and push this and push that. It's not that you gotta like take a lot of time to figure out all the moves that your guy is capable of doing, because there's so much shit. There's so many different submissions and punches and kicks, and to know what button is doing what at the exact same moment is fucking hard, man. There's a lot involved.
Well, now that it's with EA, you need to hold out for more money because they are the big pimps of the video game industry.
Well, thanks for saying that on the internet, where they hear exactly what my fucking plans are now.
Yeah, like
Son
they
of
wouldn't
a
think.
bitch.
But no, they that's cool though because EA does make the best sports games, and a lot of people EA gets a lot of shit for being like the monopoly, like buying out and killing all the small companies and shit like that. But EA, they do make some fucking kick-ass games, like Tiger Woods Golf, fucking Madden football.
Right.
I mean, they own some of the biggest franchises, so I think it's way better for UFC, the video game, in the future, I think. So
Well, Dana's very excited about it. When he told me about it, he was saying that these guys are the best and they're going to make the best game. It's funny because EA had recently said they were going to have a new MMA game.
Right.
And, no one knew that it was going to be the UFC.
Yeah.
But everybody was like, oh, it's probably going to be EA MMA 2.
Right.
The second version of it. Because they had an EA MMA game with, like, Fedor in it and
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to
Couture was
use
in
that
it.
engine, or if they're going to buy out the THQ engine, or create a new engine, because that'll be interesting. If
That's a good point.
it
I
might
don't
just
know.
be a restripped MMA game. I wonder. I don't know.
EA MMA looked decent, but
Mm-hmm.
man, a lot of the fucking fighters did not look like the real fighter.
Yeah, I think they rushed that game. They were like, "Oh shit, we can't. We got to release the game now." You know, like
Really?
I think they saw when UFC, all the heat from UFC.
Those guys fucking work. That's the one thing that it really puts in perspective when you hang out with a guy like Cliffy B. You go to the Epic Game Studio, you know, like when we went down there, or if you go to THQ and you see like the hours that we put in the video game, pretty minuscule. I mean, I could complain at like 6 hours of sitting
Right.
there going, "He's rocked."
Yeah,
But the reality is that's not a hard job. But these fucking guys are working long hours every day. And then when things don't go well, they just get laid off. Are we back? Jesus Christ, ladies and gentlemen, the technology here is just ridiculous. We had an issue here at the Rogan compound with at one point in time the router kept fucking up, and I would have to reboot it twice a day. So today we replaced everything, and yet the same thing happened.
really, twice a day.
Yeah, sometimes it would have to reboot it twice a day.
Damn, that sucks.
Well, the router was shitting out, so I replaced the router today, and it shit out. So
You
I
mean
don't know what
the
happened.
the router they give you? You had replaced?
No,
or
because
your
my house has a system,
Oh.
and there's Ethernet jacks all throughout the house, so you can get online anywhere. And then that was when I bought this house. Wireless wasn't that big, and then now we set it up wired. But so there's in the garage there's like a big box that has all these wires going into it, and this giant big ass router that runs everything. It's unnecessarily complicated, but that's the way you want to have it if you have a house that has, if you want Ethernet ports in your house, you kind of have to have it. All the wires have to go to some big.
And why don't you just do
box.
wireless?
You can, but it won't work for the whole house.
You can get those little repeaters everywhere throughout your house.
Yeah, I've never tried that.
Works
We have
pretty well.
different stations. We have stations throughout the house. I want to make sure that it's a strong signal too. There's nothing more annoying than a fleeting wireless signal. You have to you got to sit on the corner of the couch if you want to get it. Like, what? Get the fuck out of here. Fix that shit.
You should just have like Time Warner on one side of your house, Uverse on the other side of your house, and have like all of them. So like whenever one's down, you'd be like, all right, let's just go into this side of the house and use something else. Or you could test them all out at the same time, see which one's the best.
Yeah, that sounds like a huge pain in the ass. That sounds like something you would do if you had too much.
I would do that.
Too much free time.
I would do that though.
I finally get Verizon out here. I get Verizon internet out here too.
Fios or whatever it's called.
No, I mean on your phone.
Oh, right.
It works. Verizon updated it. For the longest time out here, I couldn't answer a phone call on Verizon, but now I can. Especially if I'm outside. If I'm outside, I'll get confident. I'll answer the fucking phone.
Damn.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Dude.
AT&T has 2 bars right now.
Yeah, it's good for texting, but it's for phones. It's pretty ridiculous. Have you heard this thing? I mean, it's on Infowars.com, I think, so it might not be real. But not that Infowars is all horseshit, but they get a little crazy sometimes. It says 5 million farmers are suing Monsanto for $7.7 billion. That's pretty incredible. 5 million farmers, $7.7 billion, which is like what they make in a month, probably.
Right.
But that's a lot of fucking people.
That's chicken scratch.
Yeah, they say that a farmer commits suicide because of Monsanto on some fucking ridiculous rate. I'm trying to find it here in the articles because it was something crazy. Like every 30 seconds, a farmer commits suicide. 17,683 Indian farmers just in 2009 committed suicide. Whoa. That shit's ridiculous. So they're all suing for as much as 6.2 billion euros, $7.7 billion. I don't even think this is in America. This is going on.
Wow.
Oh, suicide every 30 minutes. Wow, that is what it is.
It's probably really hard to find red chickens.
It's not chickens, it's the seeds, man. It's not they're trying to patent animals, but right now it's mostly mostly seeds that they're selling. They're Terminator seeds. You know, they're only good for a certain amount, and then they don't make seeds that work. It's really kind of crazy that anybody's ever let them make these fucking horrible, distorted versions of life in the first place. Fucking creeps. Did you hear this thing about Pentagon suspects? Some people in the Pentagon apparently downloaded porn. 1, 2, 3, go. Some people in the Pentagon that were working there download kitty porn.
It's for research, bro.
Yeah, and there's some investigation, but they won't turn over the records because they say it would compromise national security. So the Pentagon is allowed, the only people in the world apparently that are allowed to watch kitty porn, because they can download it and look, we know what we're doing, trust us, this is all about the United States government and keeping the peace and the security of our fine nation. Can you imagine watching kids get fucked by adults as a part of the security of your fine nation? And you can't tell. Why can't you say it's a part of a research project where this guy downloaded it or that? You know what they're doing, I bet? I bet they have some sick fuck that's a child molester, and they're like, they'll give him a little child porn if he gives them a little information.
Yeah. I wonder if child porn is going down lately because of
Are there trends in child porn?
Well, yeah. I mean, like nowadays that the old thing, what was schoolgirls, Japanese schoolgirls.
Okay, wait a minute. This is way crazier than I thought. The Pentagon checked on, wow. The Pentagon employees suspected of viewing child pornography. What? Okay, this is crazy. In 2006, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, which conducts internet pornography investigations, produced a list of 5,200 Pentagon employees suspected of viewing child pornography. 5,200 employees.
Wow.
Suspected
How many employees
of viewing.
are there?
I don't know. It's incredible. I wouldn't even thought there were that much.
Wait, what website is this?
This website that I'm reading right here, Boston.com.
Oh.
This is not a conspiracy website at all. This is a real website.
Right.
The suspected of viewing child pornography and asked the Pentagon to review it, but the Pentagon checked only 2/3 of the names, unearthing roughly 300 defense and intelligence employees who allegedly had viewed child pornography on their work or home computers.
Virus, right?
The defense investigators failed to check an additional 1,700 names on the list. Defense officials have revealed in correspondence with Senator Charles Grassley, Republican of Iowa.
Probably they found out that their systems were hacked and all these employees didn't look at child porn, and then halfway through searching all of them, they're like, no, we just got hacked.
That could be it.
I mean?
And they could, not want to bring that up because
Right.
they don't want to admit
Exactly.
they got hacked.
Exactly.
Very possible.
And it was probably some like famous goatsy 2-year-old pick, It was probably something stupid like that.
Yeah, that is kind of a crazy number.
Yeah, that seems like every
5,000.
employee.
Yeah.
Guys, I doubt, how many employees is there? But 5,000 seems pretty big.
Well, let's find out how many employees are in the Pentagon. That's a really good point that probably these knuckleheads didn't even think of.
Yeah. Well, we have a show tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. We got a show tomorrow at the Ice House and Friday at the Ice House. Both in the little room, so don't sleep.
Yeah.
Because it'll sell out quick. It's only like 85 seats. The Pentagon. How many people? Come on, bitch. What?
How many employees?
24,000. 24,000. So that's, what is it, 10%? How many, what did we say?
5,000. So that's saying 1/5 of the employees are addicted to child porn. So that's, that's stupid. That's
Right,
yeah,
it
that
wasn't
was
even 2,400. You're right. It was
yeah,
5,000.
Fucking Boston. Why don't you talk to Burbank?
That's pretty ridiculous. I wonder if that is the truth. I wonder if you nailed it.
Absolutely what it is, and that's why Pentagon didn't say anything about it. They just realized that they got hacked.
Or imagine if the government is just infiltrated by kid fuckers. And it's just like the Vatican. Kid fuckers galore. If you had to imagine how many people in the Vatican got busted for kid fucking. How many of them? Look at Vatican child porn. I mean, there's got to be something. There's some scandal. You can write Vatican child porn, and you know you're going to get something. There you go. Vatican, Canadian bishop convicted for child pornography. Boom. How easy. So simple. Isn't that amazing that you know that you could look that up?
It's so weird.
You can just look up Vatican child porn, and there's something. Some Canadian bishop, they got rid of him. They booted him out. So it wasn't that, the Vatican had child porn. It was that they got rid of a guy who had child porn. But then there was the whole issue of the guy who's the actual Pope himself, Ratzinger. Ratzinger, Pope Benedict, whatever the fuck he was. When he was a bishop or whatever silly name they like to give themselves, whatever the hell he was in charge of following up on cases of child molestation, and it's clear evidence that he tried to divert the investigation and really slacked off on it, and then got rid of the guy, aided in getting rid of the guy who they were going after. They had all sorts of little things they would do. A guy would get busted banging kids, and they would just move him to another place. That's been the standard protocol of the Catholic Church for the longest time. Whenever a cardinal gets caught and gets in trouble, they just move him to some other place. It's really bizarre, man. It makes you really wonder what it's all about. It makes you really wonder if at the top branch of the Catholic Church, when they're all alone, are they just all kid fuckers?
They all bring a bag and they're all around in a big circle, and they empty the bag of the child. It's it comes out.
Oh god!
What if it's something really fucked up? Like they kidnap one child a month.
What did you hear about the child that was missing from the? I'll pull up child sex
butthole.
No.
And then now you are on the Pentagon list.
Wasn't there was a okay, here's a child sex investigation. Yeah, this is it. There was a story where a former bishop said that a girl who turned up missing was taken by the Vatican, and they used her as a sex slave and killed her.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's so fucking crazy.
Yeah, pretty fucking strange,
Religion's
man.
so fucking crazy.
Yeah. This is just so. Whenever they look at these things and these probes, and they find out how many different reverends were fucked up. The church previously insisted the crimes of the late Reverend Maciel, Maciel, were his alone. He was long held up as a model by Pope John Paul II, despite credible accusations later proven that he raped and molested his seminarians. The Legion of Christ had over 900 priests. Wow, Jesus Christ, this guy. I don't even want to hear this. He died in 2008. A year later, the Orthodox order confessed that he had fathered 3 children with 2 different women and that he had abused his seminarians. Just there's an arrogance that a lot of these dudes have when they become priests, that they feel like everybody kisses their ass. Have you ever been to a church? You ever been to a Catholic church?
No, not Catholic. Well, I mean, I've been to one, but I didn't go to one. You know what I mean?
Catholic church is very creepy, and it's very strict, very strict. Like if you giggle in a Catholic church, they'll smack you in your fucking head. Yeah, they don't.
Fuck that noise.
They don't want kids to be kids in Catholic church. It's
Weird.
scary. Like you go to Baptist churches, and everybody's laughing and giggling, and little babies are crying. They'll smack a baby in a Catholic church. Nobody wants little kids crying out in a Catholic church. It's like a harsh environment, and the priests are yes, Father, everyone's talking to them, Father, and everyone's real nervous to be around them. So especially the old ones, they have this arrogance about them, which is really strange. Like you're just some creepy old queer in a fucking weird outfit. You can't come out of the closet, and you're spouting off nonsense, and everybody's kissing your ass. So you've gotten confused, and you really do believe that you're above everyone else. Like they have a weird fucking sense of entitlement, and it's very strange talking to a lot of priests. Obviously not all of them, a lot of priests. But the one who gave the eulogy for my grandmother's funeral is a perfect example of that. He was, first of all, he had gin blossoms all over his face. This poor fuck, when they get those broken blood vessels, when they get hammered all the time.
Right.
I mean, it's a shit life, man.
Right.
So this fucking dude, his whole he was an obvious drunk. And then, so was the one who married my sister. Same thing. Gin blossoms all over his
See, I
face.
called those
Looked like a
Kreischers.
mess. Kreischers?
Yeah.
Why, does Bird have those? Maybe the Bird doesn't have those.
He gets red, though, when he drinks.
That's for like old dudes who are like on death's door. But anyway, my grandmother's name was Josephine, and as they're doing the eulogy, he keeps calling her Geraldine. He calls her Geraldine like 3 times. And someone steps up and goes, "It's Josephine. Her name was Josephine." And so he just, without missing a beat, Josephine, he doesn't say, my apologies. I mean, this is a bunch of people who are sad because, their mom has died. And these fucks, this guy's giving that, he's just completely phoning this in. So when he's saying Geraldine, they correct him. Instead of saying, "I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Her name was Josephine, not Geraldine. It's my apologies." Instead of that, he just changed it. Geraldine, we here, Anna, Geraldine, who died. Not Geraldine, Josephine. Josephine, who died. It's just like phoning it in,
Wow.
saying he just said like the words in the order, no emotion behind it, no nothing. Good night, everybody. Take it easy. I'm going to go drink. No pussy, no fun, no riverboat gambling.
Just little children's mouths.
Suppression. I wonder how many of them are gay and how many of them are just miserable. How many of them want to fuck kids? How many of them want to just shoot themselves in the head? What are the actual numbers? And I'm sure a few of them are happy. Don't get crazy, Twitter. That's the thing that people get fucking most angry at me about is shitting on religion, which I think is so hilarious because I'm only shitting on specific acts that you could attribute them to religion, but these are human beings that are fucking kids. Call it religion.
Growing up, that religion also makes me like I don't see religion as bad. Because I grew up Lutheran, which is like, I guess, we had a Starbucks and stuff in our church.
Lutheran, a Starbucks?
Yeah.
You had a Starbucks in your church?
Well, it was a coffee place like a Starbucks.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it was, a lot different than...
It's like a social thing, a happy
Yeah,
thing.
it was good. It was positive. It was like, it was more relaxing and shit like that.
There's none of that shit in the Catholic Church.
Yeah, it wasn't too intense.
Catholic Church is all about guilt. If you look at if you think about the churches that are involved with the most fucked up accusations, the Catholic Church is at the top of that list, the top, and they're also the most suppressive. They just fill your head with guilt and anxiety and suffering and the feeling that you are a failure and that you are inadequate and that you will never measure up and you're a sinner in the eyes of God. And
didn't have any of that.
oh God, it was horrible. First grade, I did a full year at Catholic school, and we went to church when I was like 6 or 7. And we went to church like on a regular basis all the time, and it was hellacious. It was disgusting. It was all like terror. All you could think of is every day before school, I'd be like, fuck, I can't believe I have to go to this place. Just this torturous place to drop off your children where they just glang onto your fucking neck and suck off all your happiness. Just suck it out of you like a vampire, man. Really weird. I really clearly remember being in the middle of class while the teacher was doing something crazy and they were talking about something crazy. I was like, you guys are nuts. Like, how are you even saying this? Like, listen to what's coming out of your mouth. This is complete nonsense. Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
That's kind of weird. You almost got some kind of weird, I don't know, like some kind of... That's like not being molested, but you, as a child, you were exposed to something that's probably not positive at all for your as an adult.
Mental molestation, and a huge percentage of Catholics go through that shit. I mean, I've talked to kids who went to Catholic school who didn't have a bad time, but most of them, a good percentage of them, had a gruesome experience with the soul sapping. They just sucked the life out of you. And that's why the Catholics are so crazy. They bounce back. You can't suppress people. We've talked about this before, that Catholic school girls that like Jenny McCarthy, perfect example. You're talking about how horny she was. She went to an all-girls Catholic school, man. All girls Catholic schools produce the best sluts.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They're all fucking locked away. They have to sprint for dick as soon as the light turns green. They don't get to see dick all day at school and flirt around with them and make friends with them and pass notes in class. No, all day it's this boiling pot of pussy this big boiling mass of estrogen and female hormones, and then the light turns green and they run out the door and just dive on a cock like a patriotic soldier on a grenade. They can't wait to get some dick in them. This poor fucking girl that I dated in high school, her and her sister were both the biggest pigs. And they both went to Catholic school. And then there was another one who was like a prude who went to public school. It was really weird. It was like, for some reason, one of them, they started her off in public school and they just kept her in. But her sister, they had a little money. Her sister was like a couple years younger. So they said, well, we're doing a little better now. We're going to try to put her through Catholic school. And that girl was the girl I dated. And oh my God, she was a freak. She was a fucking freak. She would fuck anybody. Anybody who tried to fuck her, she would fuck them. This bitch was crazy, man. I told you she was a girl where my friend was fingering her in front of my house when I got up in the morning to deliver newspapers. They were still up from, the night before partying, and they're parked in front of my fucking house. Yeah. And I slammed my hand on the hood. Right. I don't remember what I said, something half witty, but I was like, Jesus Christ. All my expectations for relationships were shattered by my first two girlfriends right away. Because one of them was a complete slut that could not just leave a dick alone. Right. A dick was like a kitten with a ball of yarn. You can't roll a ball of yarn in front of a kitten. They just fucking paws go up and they dive on that shit. Right. That's how she was with cock. Jesus. And then the other one was like really manipulative. The other one, like, you drive an hour and a half to see her and she's like, I'm not in the mood. She was like really creepy. Like, she wanted to, be the one who always decided what was on TV and always decided what music we were listening to. Yeah, it was a weird, selfish thing. She grew up an only child, and her mom was kind of a cunt, and so it wasn't happy. Her mom was like a big woman, and she had a bad opinion of men. It was a lot of weirdness in that house. So I got to see both. I got to see cunty, but pretty and nice. Most of the time, just cunty behavior occasionally, and then super whore. Yeah. And so it was like, Jesus Christ, relationships are disastrous. Like right away, like the first couple of years of relationships to me was like, what's the point in this? Not that I was any fucking prize back then either. I mean, I was completely crazy. But it's funny how you can have a couple crazy relationships while you're young and it completely shapes you. That's where you get that's where you form your opinions of what relationships are like. Like, I've had some relationships as an older man, when it was like when I got to be like, my late 20s and like 30, were like really nice people. Like, you enjoyed being around them. I didn't even think that was possible when I lived in Boston. I thought, based on my own personal experience, I was like, this is just some shit you got to do to get some pussy, right. And then run away from them as quick as you can. Right. Go find your friends. That was my take on it. Plus, if you're trying to do anything else while you're a kid, you don't really have the time for a real relationship. If you're going to high school and you're trying to pursue something, like if you're pursuing a sport or trying to be in a band or anything you're trying to do where you're throwing all of your possible energy at that, your amount of time that you have for relationships is pretty small.
I feel that way right now almost. Like I was watching that old movie, Howard Stern, Private Parts, and he in that movie was had to part with his old wife, Beth, where Beth was like...
That's not his old wife.
Or
his new wife is Beth.
Or what's the girl that he dated before?
I don't remember. Allison. Yeah,
so Allison was like,
That's creepy that I know that.
Yeah. We know his whole, but Allison was like saying like, I never have time. You only, have time for your radio show and blah, blah, blah and everything. And I'm thinking like, shit, that's the same how I feel right now because I'm putting everything in one basket with doing podcasting and all that crap.
Why do you do that? Listen, man, you're doing really well now. And you went on the road with Joey Diaz and did stand up and had a great fucking time.
It's like a little baby. It's like a little baby. It's like a little, little project that I'm watching grow and blossom. And
nothing wrong with that.
And especially it's interesting when I have people like take over, and then like I come in the room, and I'm like, I'm like, oh shit, look, the camera's not even on that person. That person,
Right. Well,
it's shit like that where
but
it's like
the people you haven't taken over are stoned
oh, no,
out of their
no. These are
mind.
friends that are just helping me out.
Oh,
But
different ones
but
that I've seen.
but that's a good example of like where I'm like, I feel like I have to have some kind of quality control.
Right.
And because that's like a little baby that I created. It's like
I totally understand that. I totally understand where you're coming from. I just think you could get there easier for you with less of them.
I've been cutting a lot.
Good.
But on the other hand, we've been doing 3 Joe Rogan podcasts and 2 Ice House shows now, so it's like I'm even working harder now.
Yeah, dude, we're killing it though. It's too. I feel too much of an obligation to all those people that we're meeting because it sounds goofy, and it's really hard to talk about without sounding like you're crazy or you're an egomaniac. But I feel like this is something bigger than all of us.
Right.
I feel like we're the ones who are responsible for broadcasting it, and we're the ones who are we're the voices on the podcast. But this podcast is resonating with so many fucking people. It's so many people come to the shows, and it's not just, hey, we really like the show. It's you changed my life. It's this show changed my life. This guy came up to me the other day in Edmonton, and he was telling me how he's much nicer to people now, and he takes the time to tip more and be nicer, and it's changed his whole way of life. He says, I'm more successful now. He goes, I feel better now. I'm happier now. He goes, I would never thought that being nicer to people, like on purpose, and then tipping, like being nice and generous, would make me feel so much better.
Yeah. There's been a lot of that, and people that's like, dude, you really did save my life. Like, I was in a point in my life where I wanted to kill myself, and you guys really have, like, shook me out of that.
Yeah. Look, I've had moments in my life when I haven't been happy, when I felt like shit. And then I have now where I could not be happier. And when I look at my life, what has changed physically in my body? Well, actually, I've gotten older. So thinking about my past and my my history of martial arts and all that, my body should be a mess. I should be in pain all the time. I should be, you know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't feel better and more happy and vibrant today than before. So why do I? Well, one of the reasons why is because I don't have any negative shit in my life anymore. I don't have any bad people in my life. I don't have a bad job. I don't have any negative things. I don't have any things that I'm trying to avoid. And when you don't have anything you're trying to avoid, you have happiness. And it takes a while for people to recognize that there's a direct correlation between your state of mind and your state of existence. And if you get both of them in line, you can have a good fucking life. You don't have to be rich. Rich is bullshit. That's not what's important. You know what you have to do? You have to have enough money so you don't have to worry. Have enough money so that you can feed yourself, so that you can take care of your family. That's what you need. When you get crazy and you want, stacks of money and that's just another form of obsession. You might as well just be jerking off until you put blisters on your dick. The key to all this shit is balance. The key to the whole thing is balance, and it's a constant struggle. If I slip for a couple weeks, if I don't go in the tank for a couple weeks, if I don't write for a couple weeks, if I can go a week without working out. Anytime I do anything where I throw off the balance and I don't do the work that I'm supposed to put in, I feel the difference. I feel less capable when I sit down and write again. I feel less vibrant when I train. I don't feel as good when I go on stage. But that's something I fucking very rarely, like, I hardly ever take a week off of stand-up anymore. It's like I can't. Even 1 week, I have to go up and kill it. I have to go up and throw my new shit out there. I have to go up and record it and go back and listen to it. If I don't do that, I feel like I'm wasting something. I feel like I've been gifted with an incredible opportunity, an incredible moment in time, an incredibly fortunate and fortuitous roll of the dice. And I feel like it's an insult to the gods if you enjoy, you enjoy that, but then you neglect it and you let it rot away when you got it right there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like when I get on stage now and when I'm at my best and I'm killing, and people came to see the show, and they come after the show and they say, oh my God, my stomach hurt and it was the funniest shit I ever saw. Thank you so much. We had the greatest time. You know what? One of the things I'm thinking, thank God they had a great time. That's good. Boy, I'm so happy. The next thing I'm thinking is, I got to keep doing this. Like, I have an obligation. Like, because it's not it takes a long time to reach a state of proficiency at something. It takes an even longer time to develop an audience. It takes an even longer time to actually get a message out there that might change the way people think. And when you combine all of them together, that's what when I say that I think it's bigger than all of us. I feel like it's something that started and I got to keep going. There's no way, like people don't ever stop the podcast. I'm like, I don't think I can. I don't think it's legal. I don't think the laws of the universe wouldn't allow it. That sounds pretentious, but for real, that's the 100% honest way how I feel about the whole situation. I feel like we lit a spark and we started something, and now we're like the keepers of the flame, and everybody adds to this fucking thing. It's like people are constantly tweeting things and sending things and offering suggestions and coming to shows and being enthusiastic and pumping. Like, you remember when you came to Atlanta when I filmed my special Atlanta? What the fuck was that like? Wandering around with all those people, thousands and thousands of people. Everybody's friendly. Everybody's happy. Yeah. There's a very specific vibe to all these shows. And it's something that me and Ari were talking about when we were up in Canada. He goes, wow, the crowd up there was great. And I was like, they were awesome, man. But when was the last time we had a shit crowd? It's not happening anymore. It's like you're getting the same type of people everywhere you go.
Do you ever worry about getting a DUI?
Sure, because that's why I don't drink.
No, I know, but just for the point that, like, you can't. Is that true that you cannot go to Canada after you have a DUI?
Yes.
Can you imagine that though? Like for you,
me,
yeah, that would be like, hey, no more fucking. That just you just got a huge job cut or salary cut.
That would suck. You would have to hire a lawyer to try to get you in, and then you'd have to probably make some restitution. But they just don't want any douchebags up there.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's insane, but I understand it. Canada is so fucking nice. People are so nice up there. They're insanely inflammatory with their niceness. It's like Jesus. What are you, real? Slow down. Turn this down. Like, what's going on? You don't even realize it. When you're around like especially big city Americans. It's so rare that you find like really outgoing, friendly people. And then you go to somewhere like Calgary or something like that, and everyone's friendly. You go to Vancouver, everyone's friendly. I mean, a friend of mine was talking about that in a bar that they were doing stand up in Vancouver, and they were at a bar, and girls were like, "Hey, where you from?" And they're like, "What? You talking to us? What's going on? What are you doing?" He goes, "We thought it was a trick, like they were hookers or something." Like, girls are just saying hi, coming up and saying hi. Girls in America don't do that. That's rare as fuck.
Yeah.
They're nicer up there, man. They don't have that conqueror mentality. They don't have this America. Fuck yeah. That when you're from the best, and you can talk all the shit you want about other empires, but they can all suck America's dick. There's never been anything like America. As far as we're lucky, I guess you want to look at it that way,
right?
That we're born here in this crazy machine. But if you look at like empires, like the Roman Empire, the Persian Empire, any empires that like tried to conquer the world, nobody did nothing like what we're doing. And we're denying that we're an empire. We're like right in the middle of it, military presence in over 100 different countries, and we're like, we're just trying to be nice. When you have that kind of a country and there's so much military power and the whole world kind of like, think about how many assholes just act like douchebags because their team wins. Like when the Lakers win the championships and dudes are driving down the street, "We're number one, bitch! We're number one, bitch!" And you don't even know the Lakers are playing. You're like, what the fuck is going on with these people? They're number one for what? What happened? Well, they choose the Lakers. They live in L.A., so they're number one now. That's what a lot of people are about America being a military power. There's a lot of fuckheads in this country that are like, they act like extra cocky because we're this giant military power, as if they have anything to do with it. We're number one, bitch. We got the bombs, bitch.
I saw Backdraft last night. Remember that movie?
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
With Kurt Russell?
Yeah. And remember like how paranoid you were to open your front door for like 2 weeks?
Yeah,
like the whole movie was about fucking Backdraft. I remember just sitting there like touching my door real quick and like spinning on it.
They made a movie about fire going through doorways. Really fast.
Who gives a shit about backdrafts now is what I'm saying. It's like I never think about backdrafts, but I was
yeah, when does that come up?
When was your last backdraft?
Fire's scary as fuck, though, man. It's weird that we got this thing that we control, and we don't even think about it. It's just, you light it with, you can buy it anywhere you go.
Yeah.
Think about how irresponsible people are, and then think about the fact that we got fire in our pocket.
Yeah, we got fire in our pockets.
It's amazing. There's not way more fires than there are.
I know.
Look at this.
Fire.
We're just sitting around here talking. I
got
got fire.
fire.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We're so stupid that can burn a whole city down. Think how fucking stupid we are, and the fact that you could go to a corner drugstore, give me 10 of those. You just get 10 of them. Go to the liquor store, give me some lighter fluid.
Yeah.
And you can just light shit on fire everywhere. It's amazing when you really think about the potential for damage with all the shit that we have, how little things actually get damaged. Especially with fire.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a big fire? Were you around when the big brush fires?
Yeah,
Did you see any of that?
Yeah, I've been here, and like when I lived in Calabasas when I first moved out here, there was all
that's
those
right.
fires. And remember,
Did you ever get evacuated?
remember we were on the road. I think the Real Men of Comedy tour or something like that. And
Yeah.
the fire was there, and my ex fiance at the time had to pack up our whole entire apartment, and because she got evacuated.
Yeah, that's right.
And
that's
I
right.
felt so bad. I was like, 'cause, she's just like, "Where do I go?" I'm like, "I have no idea."
I know that's scary as fuck, man. When I've been evacuated twice, and where I used to live in Colorado, that burnt down too.
Yeah.
Not the house, but that area burnt down too. They lost something like hundreds and hundreds of houses. So it was some insane amount of acreage too. Got burnt down. The reality is, once those motherfuckers get started, especially out here, it's so dry
When
out
is
here.
fires? When's all
Right
that should
now,
start? Like right
bitch.
now, it starts right now.
June 1st is the time where we have to have brush clearance. So you're supposed to clear out all the dead shit in the brush. And, people get fined for that. It's a big deal because some asshole who doesn't take care of his lawn, and you let the brush pile up, and all of a sudden you've got a really dangerous situation if anything flies and lands on it. That's what fucks them up. Is these fires, they start and then the embers float through the air, and then the embers will land on some dry grass, and poof, there's a new fire. And that's the epicenter of a new fire, and it just fucking, the wind takes that bitch and carries those flames, and that lights a tree on fire, and the embers from that fly up, and that catches some other area.
Yeah.
That's a fucking pain in the ass, man. It's hard. They gotta circle them and drop water on them and shit. Have you ever seen them scoop down and get the water?
Yeah, because when there was fires in Burbank, because I also experienced one in Burbank, there was a fire at the Hollywood Mountain 2 years ago or a year ago, and I guess there was a big water scoop for helicopters on the top of that mountain. They just sat there and watched them scoop out of like a big pool, like a swimming pool almost.
When I first came here, there was a big fire in the Hollywood Hills. It's a fucking really nice area of the Hollywood Hills, and we were watching it from the Virgin Megastore. There was that little area out front where like Wolfgang Puck's, I don't know if it still is there, but it used to be there. We were sitting there watching these helicopters drop fire on this building, and I just kept thinking, like, what a strange world we live in where we take something like fire for granted, and here it is just eating its way through the earth, this energy source, and everybody's freaking out and dropping things on it and trying to stop it, and really inadequate, really ineffective. Like, it takes a long time to put out a fucking fire. They're trying, but they have these giant fucking planes. They have to go down, scoop up the water, fly over, and boom, it's like they shoot a little tiny water load on the fire and then right back to it. It takes a long fucking time to actually put the fire out. And most likely some houses are going to get jacked, and there's nothing they could do about it. And all those houses inside of them have electricity. This other crazy power thing that we totally take for granted. There's fucking pulsating energy through the wires of the house that powers your internet and powers your fucking lights, and our life would suck tremendous cock if we didn't have it.
Or it might be completely amazing
That would be amazing.
because it'd be really quiet.
Nothing would be fresh.
More people would have sex. And
Hard to get healthy meat. You have to kill things that day. That's annoying as fuck. Imagine you have to kill fish and animals that day. That's the only way. Your whole life would be about hunting and gathering. Once you cut out the electricity, it's really difficult to store things. It's hard. You got to go with cattle, and then you got to make sure if you kill it, you eat all of it. So you have to calculate, well, how many people are here, who's working. We're going to make sure everybody's doing their part to get a piece of this animal. We got to kill another one tomorrow. I mean, how long, if you lived in a place like California and it was the summertime, how long does an animal last once you kill it?
I'd probably give it 24 hours.
You really think 24 hours?
Yeah.
I think it would be rotten as fuck in 24 hours, man. Maybe not. But in this heat, when it's like 90 degrees outside, I gotta think that animal's gonna be a mess.
Well, if you wrap it up in cum or a leaf or something like that.
Cum? Is cum the new preservative
It
that
is
you're
a
using?
preservative.
Well, I tried cumin. It didn't work. So I said, let's just try cum. It sounds like it. Is cumin even a preservative? No, it's a spice. That joke didn't make sense. What the fuck are you saying? So tomorrow night we are live at the Ice House at 8:30. And who's on the lineup so far?
We got Brody Stevens,
Powerful
John
Brody
Shizer,
Stevens.
Tony Hinchcliffe, Randy Lickey,
Tony's
Josh Adam
fucking
Myers.
funny, man. That
He
kid has
is.
got some great jokes.
He's really good, man.
He's a really good
an amazing
writer.
writer,
Man. Yeah, he made me laugh.
Jeffrey Ross hired him for a reason.
How dare he? How dare he try to pretend he wrote those jokes? Yeah, guys, when they're writing, when they're doing like roast and shit like that, that's when there's a lot of comics that make a good living just doing writing and punch up stuff like that.
You know what's weird is that I don't even realize this, but like two of my good friends, Pete and Tony, who both help us out almost every Ice House Chronicles, they're both from Ohio, and I'm like, it's weird that I feel like I'm like getting
You're
pushed
bonded?
toward them, because of the Ohio. We both kind of grew up the same.
You all have stunted emotional development. It's amazing. You can all be children forever together. Yeah, it is a weird thing how people you sort of like where you grew up. That's
Yeah.
like sort of how you
Like you
gravitate
like
towards
hanging
those
out with
people.
Boston people. You hang out
Yeah.
with all these Boston comics. And
Speaking of which, Bill Burr is doing the podcast next Thursday.
Sweet.
So make sure you get up on your RSS feed knowledge. And
Right. Love Bill Burr.
I love Bill Burr too. I wonder if he's still mad at Stitcher.
I doubt it.
Have they all given up on that?
I
yet?
think they've all come back to Stitcher or a lot of them have been coming back to Stitcher because they're realizing.
Is Corolla on Stitcher?
Yeah, he's always been on Stitcher. He's been a Stitcher darling for a long time.
But he does his commercials like he does them live and he does them in the moment. Like he'll like break for commercial in the middle of his podcast or at several points.
Yeah,
in
they
his
do
podcast.
radio. He does a radio format.
Yeah.
So does Toad Hop.
So he doesn't have to like they don't need to like splice in ads on him. His ads get out there no matter what. If Stitcher takes the feed and sends it, his ads get out there. So it's not like Sirius, for example, where our show, when it goes to Sirius, they cut out the
That's
fleshlight
so
ad.
weird. Every time I hear that, it's
weird.
so weird.
Strange.
Because I'll always have it on either Stern or Opie and Anthony channel. I'll turn on my car and just hear myself talking. It confuses the fuck out of me. Like, whoa.
Yeah, it's weird when you don't expect to hear yourself and you hear yourself. That's really weird.
I'm like, that guy sounds like me. Wait, that is me. Ah.
Do you sound like an idiot? Do you listen to yourself and get mad? Fuck are you saying, bro?
The old ones I did.
What's changed about you? How have you gotten better at podcasting?
Because I'm not trying to just be as goofy and stupid as possible anymore.
Well, you do that as almost like a girl, that's at a party and no one's paying attention to her, so you'll do something nutty. Because
I act like I was acting like how I act like drunk and hanging out with my like friends instead of just
Right.
being like, oh, people are listening to me actually talked. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, then you had to hear that.
Oh, here's something weird that happened to me last night. I wanted to talk about. It's kind of the same way. I had this weird thing happen to me the last 2 days where I have been giggly and silly and fucking really high energy and like really happy, like giggly happy. Like I was running around poking people with straws last night like a little kid, and then it just went away and then it came back to normal. And I was like, what was that all about? Like it almost felt like there was some kind
It's
of
the government.
up in me for no
Yeah, the
reason.
government's got you under remote control.
It was
They found
weird.
a way to tune into your frequency.
It was weird though, because it was like, have I been going through like a long time depression, and that was just like a bump out of it, or something like that, or have I been like, lacking something in my head or diet or something like that, and I just had like a normalcy for a while because I felt like I was like, wow, if I felt like this every day, I would fucking love life, like crazy.
You should feel like that every day.
Yeah, I guess so. But like, how do you even explain that? Like, you can't like rewind. Like, hey, can you look at my database files,
Right.
and tell me what was going on there?
Well, a lot of it
Hardware
is,
report.
yeah, it could have been a lot of different things all at once. But
It was unnecessary and came out of nowhere. I mean,
that's probably good.
oh yeah, it was great, but don't feel like that right now. You know?
But you can't always feel like that.
I
It's
know,
almost like you want good feelings to just come to you instead of you want
But I
to
haven't
earn
felt
them.
that in I don't know how long. Like it was one of those things like, holy shit, man, this is great. I feel like fucking like I'm on ecstasy right now for no reason.
You haven't felt like that in a while?
I mean, it was weird. It was just like it happened last night, and I was just like silly and giggly for no reason. Like I was sober, and I was just running around being crazy.
Huh.
It was great.
So I'm setting up this new studio, by the by. We're working on everything right now, so I've started pricing out, equipment and getting everything ready in place. I was gonna have a raw cement floor, but I realized that sound-wise, it's
Sound-wise,
kinda
that wouldn't be
stupid.
good.
So I'm gonna go with
Go with rubber.
rubber.
Rubber floor, like where you have like in a gym locker room or
Really?
something
Is
like
that good?
That should be fun. It'd be comfortable with sound. Be great for sound.
Maybe
I
I
like
got that
rubber
shit.
floors.
That shit in my garage, my gym.
Yeah.
That I drop weights on.
Right.
That might not be a bad idea. That way, if we drop some phones and shit, they won't get broken.
Right.
I was actually thinking of going with office carpeting, but that rubber floor might be better.
Recycled tire floor.
Although it's a cunt to clean.
Really?
Yeah, it's not fun to clean. So don't be jizzing on my fucking rubber floor.
What about like a floor that they use in like not jiu-jitsu gym, like racquetball? It's almost
Racquetball's hardwood floors. And that's a real echoey room, a
Right.
racquetball room. What you want is soft things. So with the carpet absorbs, and you want to put stuff on the walls, like Corolla's joint. He's got like these big cloth Ace Broadcasting banners that are framed, and they absorb. They're framed and it's like screen printed or silk screened onto the cloth, and then it's framed.
Right.
So it's his banner in several different places, and that absorbs the sound. But it might actually be cool just to have I like those soundproof little cone things. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Those panels with like individual little cones in them, like
egg
hundreds of
cartons.
cones. Yeah, egg cartons, exactly. Put that shit on the wall. But I'm trying to find, and this is where people out in the Twitterverse can help me. I'm trying to find what's the best office chairs. These are kind of cool.
I like these.
These are all right. But when I sit back on them,
You
sometimes
gotta get those net ones though, if you want to get the best ones.
Are those the best ones?
Fucking $1,000 net ones. where
Oh,
it's
the
like a big-
Erman Mailer. How dare they? Who the fuck? How dare
How'd they hack the mainframe?
I had to turn it back on because our phone went off. Or
Call
excuse me, our
from-
internet went off. No, I got rid of that feature. Hold on a second.
That's a good feature. This is super old school podcast. We've had internet connection problems. We've had old phone calls.
Yeah, that's as old school as we can
I
get.
just need to talk about Trailer Vixen.
Oh, how dare you! How dare you! Can't you let it go, son? You should. The way you
she's
should
fine.
look at that relationship is that there's
She
no.
taught me a lot.
There's no way you should be able to fuck a girl like that in real life.
I have no problems with her. She's fine.
Okay, good, beautiful. So whatever craziness, you gotta say to yourself, why? Of course there was craziness. She was fucking me. How could she not be crazy? You got to look at it that
Loads
way.
make girls go crazy.
Yeah, just you sent her crazy, and she wasn't. She has to be crazy to be fucking you in the first place.
That's right.
She should be fucking some giant supermodel dude, right?
Crazy. I
Instead-
can't do websites that good.
Is that what it is? How dare you? You're going inside knowledge for folks at home. This is again just like the old podcast.
That's just a joke. I
When
know,
you were
I know.
pretending that no one was listening. There's a fucking million
That was
people
a
going,
joke.
"Oh, Brian, we got to get those O'Brien t-shirts made." We keep promising those.
Yes.
But so anybody who has any insight as to like what's the best, most comfortable chairs within reason, I guess probably those gravity chairs from Relax the Back. Those would be kind of
You
dope.
should get all massage chairs from Spencer Gifts.
But they make too much noise. You'd be in the middle of a podcast. Yeah.
They probably make them say,
No, they're not quiet. I mean, they're fairly quiet.
what if we get those
for a
water
podcast.
massagers where you like lay in and your head
That's
just sticks
loud as
out?
fuck. Those things are ridiculous. You have to have like an engine that pushes all that water around, doesn't it? Like a pump.
I don't know. I
Sounds like
never
a-
got one of those.
It must be. It must be loud as fuck. How could it not be? It's a mechanical thing. Something spinning around, a lot of movement. You're forcing all that water through.
Yeah.
But I think they have some other chairs that are like these gravity chairs that lean back. But I think they're like more than $1,000 each. There's got to be something that's like a decent chair that's like comfortable. I don't know if office chairs are the way to go.
I love these chairs.
You think
I
they're the way to
these
go?
chairs are really good.
It seems like office chairs offer the most support, right?
I think office chairs are the way to go. I mean, couches and other kind of chairs always seem like we've tried almost everything. You know, we started off with couch. Yeah, I think we started off with the couch.
That was whack.
That was super whack.
Yeah.
Then we had some other
Couch seems like it would work, but then it's annoying to sit on the couch.
You know what would be the best? I mean, the ultimate
What's the
best.
ultimate?
We all had Lazy Boys.
That is the ultimate, right?
Dude, have you been to a Lazy Boy store? They've done a lot of good shit with Lazy Boy.
Would that really be the best?
Fuck
Is that
yeah,
the
we could
most
all have
comfortable?
Lazy Boy, all have a laptop right on our lap. Fucking on the side, we have our fucking little places for our drinks. You know,
We could easily do that.
dude. If we're gonna do it, might as well be most.
How much does a
comfortable.
Lazy Boy cost?
Not much.
Let's find out.
Dude, Lazy Boys start off probably around $300 even. But I mean, getting some pimp Lazy Boy, dude. Lazy Boy makes some good couches and everything now.
Lazy Boy, wow, $2,584.
Go to the Lazy Boy store.
Dude, look at that shit.
No, not that. That's old school Lazy Boy. Go to I think it's lazyboy.com.
Lazy Boy,
Go to
yeah,
Lazy
I'm
Boy.
there. I'm there at lazyboy.com.
All right, Lazy Boy.
It's la-z-boy.com.
If you just go to regular Lazy Boy, it takes you to that one, too.
And
Check out these recliners. Is what you want to check out.
their site's getting crushed. I wonder if it's us. Two people at once was too much.
Two people.
Two people and everybody else online. It was like, yeah, let me open up a separate window here and see
Yeah.
what they got. So they recline. All these recline, right?
Yeah.
Lazy Boy recliner. Okay, how much is this bitch right here? Let's see. This is in cloth. Should it be cloth or leather?
Leather, boo.
Leather, boo. Fuck cows, right?
Fuck
By the
cow
way, all
arms.
you silly bitches on my website forum that really think that when I say fuck all the animals, that I really want all the animals to die, I'm talking shit, folks. Did you ever talk shit?
Damn, this website. This
website
crushed.
sucks a bag of dicks.
It's like it's only meant for modems.
Yeah, this website is fucking terrible. It's terrible. They show their stupid things, and it's like add to my favorites. It doesn't tell you about them.
That shit's.
Show me your chairs, you
shit
fuckheads.
crushed me.
It's a sucky website, Lazy Boy. Your website blows.
Dude, get off your ass and get a new website.
Fix it.
all the guys are lazy there. They're just too comfortable to do anything.
You want to be the official chair of Death Squad West, you fuckheads. You have to come up with something better than this. Well, they have some good products. They look good,
Yeah,
but
well,
their websites suck so hard. It's hard to look at them.
if Lazy Boy's listening.
Do you think that's people listening to the podcast that are doing that?
Dude, I mean,
It has
3,000
to be.
people or so just go right to lazyboy.com at the same time. It probably is.
LAZ.
I'm going to type in pimp lazy boy. Just
Oh,
Google.
you know there's one. I want ostrich skin because ostriches are cunts.
Fuck
Cunty
ostriches.
birds. Whoa, these are dope, dude.
My pimped out lazy boy.
Okay, I just found it. Look at
Yeah.
this, son. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
That's what I'm saying.
If we all got those.
Yeah, you could have like a little fucking hose that just so you could smoke weed while, kind of
Yeah.
on the side of that lazy boy.
Rialto Lazy Boy double recliner review. Ooh, son. That might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, and maybe have the table where it comes like we can just like pull the table out or something like so kind
It's
of like a
$1,200 for the regular ones, and then $1,900 for the ones that are in leather. And that thing looks pretty fucking sporty.
dude lazy boys and maybe have
Would that really be? Wouldn't that be annoying though? After like a couple of hours, would it get annoying?
laying down. That'd be awesome.
You think so?
Yeah, dude, lazy boys are just like this when you lay back, but just imagine more comfortable. You have your feet up like a gentleman.
You think that would be a good thing for podcast seats though? It would suck if I got 5 Lazy Boys, then we decided it blows.
Well, we can,
And you can't just have one. If it was just like me with a Lazy Boy and everybody else with a regular chair, fucking dick. Invite me over your place and sit me in a fucking Staples $50 office chair while you got some
hey,
crazy
if
Lazy
they
Boy.
suck, we just move them to Death Squad East or whatever it's called.
Well, this one, yeah, Death
East.
Squad East. It's East. This one is $450. That's not bad. That's a cloth
Yeah,
one
so
with
that's
like
nice.
sides to
And
it. Looks pretty
I
comfortable.
think the only thing that we might run into is like people falling asleep if it gets boring.
Oh, those bitches. They could, right? Especially with stoners. That could be the issue.
Yeah, dude. But I mean, just if you had to ask, would I rather sit down for 3 hours with your feet up and comfortable, or bouncing on this office chair? You know.
Yeah.
You
That's
want
true.
I mean, if we wanted beds, we could get single beds. Each have a single bed. We could just all lay there, dude. That's the move.
No, you
Dude, we
lazy
all-
bitch. We should stand
Dude,
up.
we all have our own little blankets. We bring our own pillow. It'll be like nap time where we have our little blankets.
A little blankie.
And each person could have their own quilt that fans make, and we could have like the Redban quilt. The
So we
Joe-
could have conversations like at camp.
Yeah.
Where you're lying in bed and the lights go out. Hey, you guys really think ghosts are real?
Yeah. Or we get the one where we each have our own fucking number. What's it? Tempur-Pedic, where we have our own.
Oh, the blow one, the air one, whatever the fuck it
Yeah,
is.
what's that?
Air fucking cunty.
The one
They
where the-
suck.
The one
by
where your
way.
back goes up.
Yeah, those the Tempur-Pedics are the ones, the foam, the memory foam. That's the good stuff. The ones that blow the air in it, like you can get it harder or softer depending on what your number is. Those
Right.
suck. I had one of those. It sucks.
Well, just get one of the hospital bed ones where we can put it up and we can all we're in a hospital room. Dude, that would be the move. If we all had like hospital beds and we had like oxygen just going pumped into us while we're all laying there talking.
Yeah, they this website is going to keep me from buying a Lazy Boy. And I'm
No, you
not
need to go to a
bullshitting.
Lazy Boy store. I think there's one here in Thousand Oaks or
Really?
something like that.
Maybe we get some sort of a deal with Lazy Boy.
Well, if you're listening,
gotta
Lazy Boy,
think-
contact us. We'll talk about you. We'll get you back into the fucking.
We'll blow you back up. We'll get you in the
Yeah.
mix. We'll get a real website designer to call you and
Yeah.
holler at you. This sack of shit you got going on here where you don't even... You guys, you silly bitches, you don't even have prices.
Oh.
Like, there's no prices on your website. Like,
Right.
what kind of nonsense is that? Store locator. Store locator. What? There's a website and you can't buy shit from your website? That's ridiculous.
Oh, it's probably because of shipping.
That's 2000. That's so 2003.
Yeah, but you can't even ship kettlebells without it being a headache. Imagine having shipping big old Lazy Boys.
Well, we can ship kettlebells without it being a headache. It's just a pain in the ass. But there's there's countries cost a lot of money. But there's companies rather that ship big stuff like
Like crates companies.
like Restoration Hardware. You know, they send couches in the mail all the time. Not in the mail.
Drop ship.
They deliver. I wonder if Amazon has Lazy Boys. They have everything.
No, Amazon does not have Lazy Boys.
Yep, they do.
What? From a different seller. Let's see how much shipping is for a Lazy Boy.
Whoa. Okay, I found it, dude. When you go to Amazon, look at this. Sweat this right here. This professional high back leather Lazy Boy. Look at this. This is what we need, dude.
Oh yeah, but there's no foot leg support. That's the big
so
thing.
we get those. We get separate leg supports.
Yeah, that's not the same, man.
No, you don't think so?
Like, you get a nice ass fat Lazy Boy. It feels like you're.
This one has a leg support. Look at that. Little thing.
That's not the same thing. I'm talking about the one where you the thing comes out of the bottom of the chair and you're like just pretty much laying down.
Yeah.
It's just the bomb.
Yeah.
Lazy Boy recliner is what it's called.
Yeah, you really do have to get a recliner, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't fuck around. This is pretty sick, though. This Lazy Boy chair. The presidential high back swivel chair. That looks pretty fucking sporty.
Like
That looks cool, too. That would be like a cool chair to have in there. It's $1,000, man.
you look at this one's not a Lazy Boy, but if you look at this one, it's called the Wickenburg bonded leather rocker recliner in brown, where it's just a big old puffy Lazy Boy chair. That looks fucking comfortable as fuck.
That looks like something that you sit in before you suck a cock. Like, let me just... Bill, I don't even know what that means. I like... Which one is that?
That's
I
called
like-
that.
what's
Oh,
it
look at
called
this
again?
one. Coaster Furniture Tri-Tone Burgundy Top Grain Leather Recliner. That right there, man. Oh, it's only got 3 stars though. This recliner comes with AIDS. Recliner made in China.
If you had Lazy Boy recliners, though, do you think that it would change the overall tone of a podcast and make people like too like comfortable, lethargic?
Man, we keep the receipt.
Joey Diaz would fall asleep, man.
Well,
Let Joey Diaz put his feet up. Listen, dog. You blame on one fucking Penn and Teller thing. Fuck Penn and Teller. Remember how angry he got when we played Penn Jillette's Rant? What are you wasting my time here for? Like, he was angry. Why are you letting somebody talk besides me? I'm the fat guy around here. I can't find... there's some pretty good ones. It seems like that might be an option, but we have to find a place where we can sit in one of these things. That's funny. It was one place that chair I looked at, it was $900, and this place, the same chair, Lazy Boy presidential chair, $1,500.
Bed and pillows.
Bed and pillows. You
Just
think?
get a huge fucking bed, wall to wall. We all lay down like hippies, and we all have our own little beanbag pillows and stuff, and we can bring blankets,
I don't think that's the move.
like rave style.
I think this is the move. I think this high back presidential office chair is the move. That looks so
How
sick.
about 12-person hot tub?
Dude, but this looks so sick. This presidential chair looks so dope. That would and it looks comfortable, and a whole like studio filled with them. I think that's the perfect compromise.
See,
Like,
that doesn't look comfortable to me. That looks
you
actually
kidding?
that looks super uncomfortable.
It looks like one of those stiff chairs where you have to
it's
you can't
beautiful.
recline back.
yeah, you can. Yeah, it reclines. It leans back.
No, that just rocks back. That whole thing's connected.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't fold at the joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lean back. Lean back. I don't know, dude. I'm partial to this. I need to try this out somewhere.
I think we just need one of the silver bullet trailers, and then we pimp that motherfucker out, and then we could have the fucking studio anywhere the fuck we want.
Well, we could have a mobile studio. It's not a bad idea to also have. But I
Why
want
not just have one of that?
well, because it's not enough space.
No, have you seen the big ones? They're huge.
The silver, what are they? Which one are they called?
The Airstream
Silverstream?
trailers. Look at this
Airstream?
Look at this. Go to airstream.com. This shit.
We could completely give up the idea of a studio and just get a trailer.
Look at these fucking trailers. These things are fucking amazing, and you can have this anywhere you want to go. Like if you want to go to fucking San Diego, if you want to fucking
I do like the idea of having something that you could bring with you, like something that you could tow with you.
Mm-hmm.
But really, if we were going to do that, why would we get a studio? We could get a studio bus. The right way to do it is to have like one of those mobile home things. Not a mobile home. What are those called? RVs, where people travel across the country in those big trucks.
look at that motherfucker.
That's pretty dope, but it doesn't have a car part.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
That's why
Like,
we get a sweet car to add to it.
Yeah, I guess.
We get a fucking
How big is inside of that thing,
dude.
though?
It's humongous. They have all different sizes. They have sizes that you could people live in these things.
Right, but how much does one of those cost?
Look at these floor plans.
Wow, these are pretty fucking huge.
dude.
The dope move would be, dude, to get one of these as a travel thing, and then we go on a tour. We go, like, we start in Seattle, and we go down Seattle, San Francisco, or Seattle, Portland.
Come on, you could fucking pimp this bitch out. Like, look at this shit. You could pimp this.
That
shit
could be our podcast studio.
Yeah,
back
the
bedroom.
whole studio. If we gutted this whole thing out,
Yeah.
we got it all soundproof, got it high tech. I know companies that actually do that.
Can you imagine, though, if you got a car accident while you're podcasting, how bad that would suck? And who's going to drive? All our friends are assholes.
Dude, we get your fucking driver, dude. The guy that buys all the CDs.
You get that guy?
Get that guy.
Might not be a bad idea.
I mean, and we can just go anywhere. So fuck, like, you have a show at the Hollywood Improv. You fucking park this thing right in front.
That would be pretty dope.
Yeah, you grab people. I mean, that's like having a studio anywhere you go.
But these things, they're towed. What you really want is one with a
Right.
steering wheel that drives.
Right, you just get
But
a touring coach.
the thing about this, though, is when you're if you get towed, if you have one of those that gets towed, then you don't even talk to the guy that's driving. He's just taking you there. You're completely closed off in a whole nother area. So you don't have to hear him on the phone, have to hear him yelling in Russian. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
A big ass
Yeah,
truck
big ass
one.
one. They have
we're,
ones.
We're looking at one that says the Mercedes-Benz one. Which
Yeah.
one of that was that called?
That's called a Avenue or Interstate Touring Coach by Airstream. And they also have one called the Interstate, which looks like Airstream's on the same server as your. Maybe
that
it's just
shit's
your.
huge.
Yeah, and I mean this shit's like a fucking house.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just buy one and sell
And there's
my
a
car and buy one of
smaller
these.
one
How much are
that's-
these things?
There's a smaller one you could live in, dude. Look at that. That's a van. Basically, you'd be the creepy van guy.
Yeah, that's not bad, dude. Because I'm only at home. See, I just need to put my animals somewhere. Maybe I could get one of those.
You don't want to live in a van.
Why not?
You're ready to give up on life.
I'm never home.
Where
I'm
would you
home
live?
just to sleep.
Well, you should get a secured apartment somewhere.
Yeah, I
some
know.
safe place where.
I just have too many animals for that shit.
Oh yeah, you can't get apartments.
I'm
with a
beyond help.
dog.
If anyone in LA wants a fucking cat, I got one for you.
Don't give away your cat.
It was one cat that I need to get away with.
The old one, right?
Yeah, the old one.
That's rude as
It's
fuck.
it just doesn't want to be around
Of course.
anybody.
You brought a
anymore.
dog and another cat involved.
I know. It hates those
You
two.
mixed up the cat's life.
Well, the other two are a fucking like buddy cop movie, and
they're cool.
Yeah, they're cool together. They love each other. And this one's just like, I hate you guys. Get
That's
away
what
from me.
happens. Those old cats, they don't like new cats.
I just want to make it a helicopter and be done with it.
Why? I have one cat. I have one cat that's 15 and one cat that's 2.
I love both of them though. You have good cats.
Yeah,
They're nice cats.
They're both cool. But the 2-year-old fucks with the 15-year-old relentlessly.
Yeah.
She's always.
You need to get a small
mad
dog
at
for
him.
that cat. The small dog will take care of it.
Well, buddy,
want
with the
Pekingese?
nice cat. No. By the way, don't ever bring your fucking dog over here because my whole family would go crazy for it. All the girls. Oh my god, it's so cute. Oh my
I'm
god.
going to bring it over next time. I'm going to get a nice haircut, get some bows, bring
Yeah,
it over.
if you did, it would be gone. If you wanted
Good.
to get rid of it,
Oh,
for sure.
I do.
It really would
All
be
right,
gone.
well, there we go.
I could probably take it if you really want.
Yeah,
The
I do.
girls would go nuts because
They-
your dog is so friendly and she's so small. My daughters will go crazy. How old is your dog? 3 years
A
old?
year and a half.
But it's got herpes from your ex-girlfriend, right?
No,
That's
no,
what
I
you
sucked
told
all
me.
the herpes right out of that dog. Fucking
Shows-
cleaned a bullet out of that piece.
Show has deteriorated drastically ever
it's
since we came back.
pubic hair.
I'm sorry about the shit going down earlier, ladies and gentlemen. We're really gonna have to fix our issues here. But Death Squad West should be up and cracking. I'm trying to get it done. We're in June. I want to get it done before July. We're trying to figure out whether or not we're going to do a big Vegas show at the Mandalay Bay in July. If we do it, it will be full Death Squad, Ari and Joey, hopefully. And Brian will come down too, and maybe even Doug Benson, because I think Doug's playing poker down then. So because he just asked for tickets the other day. And
I'm supposed to come down. I'm doing Doug's podcast
in Vegas.
I think that's the same weekend. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
he
do
did.
that, and let's stay for an extra day to do Doug's shit.
All right, we might do that. I can't stay an extra day, but we'll get things cracking. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's wrap this bitch up. Yeah. So tomorrow night, the Ice House Comedy Club, the second stage, and which is only 85 seats. If you've never been there for those shows, it's the most intimate, and I got some new shit I'm trying to work out on. And I'm going to do some question and answer, too, just in an effort to try to come up with some new shit. It's this is the period of time for me where it's the most nerve-wracking and chaotic because I'm just fucking around and writing a lot, but it's really fun. And one of the funnest things about it is doing these Ice House shows because the crowds are so cool. It's like it's the perfect environment to fuck around and practice and try to stretch out and come up with new stuff. And everybody's really enjoying them. We're going to do them on a regular basis, folks. Most likely Wednesday of every week, and a lot of them are Friday. I'm not going to be at all the Friday ones, but I'm going to be at most of the Wednesday ones. And that's it. We're rolling, bitches. We got more coming. Tomorrow we're off because you got something going on.
I'm going to E3, but then we have the Ice House Chronicles that tomorrow night.
Right.
It starts. The podcast will start at 8. The show's at 8:30. IceHouseComedy.com.
Thursday is not John Anthony West. John Anthony West has been moved to Friday. Thursday is now Uriah Faber. So Thursday, Uriah has a really short schedule, and he's in town, and he's going to do it live. John Anthony West is going to do it through Skype. It's going to be our first Skype podcast.
Video or just audio?
Video and audio. So he's going to show us pictures and tell us things. So it'll be a little weird for the folks that are just listening, but we'll explain it as best we can. And if you don't know who John Anthony West is, he's one of my personal heroes. He's an Egyptologist, a fascinating, brilliant guy who is the producer of a video series called Magical Egypt, which is one of the most comprehensive video series on ancient Egypt, and especially like the hidden symbolism involved in hieroglyphs and the construction of their pyramids and their temples and all their different things. I mean, really amazing stuff. That I can't stress enough how pumped I am to talk to this guy. because he's just an incredible source of information when it comes to Egypt. The guy's been involved in studying it his entire life, and he's got just some brilliant work out there. Can't wait to talk to that dude. So that's Uriah Faber on Thursday. John Anthony West is going to be on Friday, and I think we got someone on Saturday, dude.
Saturday.
Yeah, I think something's going on Saturday. May or may not be happening on Saturday. Like someone who couldn't do it any other day. I'll let you know as soon as we get out of this podcast. I'm not sure what the fuck I'm talking about here. I don't even know what I'm saying. That sledgeline stuff. I'm not sure about this. Might be ruining me. Sledgeline and Alpha Brain together are battling for dominance.
Right.
Thank you everybody for tuning into the podcast. Thanks to everybody who came to Edmonton this past weekend. Ari and I had a great fucking time. Like I said before, I appreciate the fuck out of it, and there's not a moment where I'm taking any of this for granted. And we're going to keep this bitch rolling. Thanks to the Fleshlight for sponsoring our podcast. Go to joerogan.net, click on the link for the Fleshlight, enter in the code name Rogan, and save yourself 15% off the #1 sex toy for men. Thank you also to Onnit.com, makers of Alpha Brain, Shroom Tech Sport, Shroom Tech Immune, and New Mood. We will have kettlebells and protein powder made out of hemp and raw cocoa and maca coming soon, and got a lot of good stuff on the horizon. And that's all for today, you dirty bitches. So we'll see you on Thursday with Uriah Faber, and then Friday will be John Anthony West. Today, if you're wondering if you're somewhere in the future and you have just stumbled upon this podcast, it is June 5th, 2012. Would have been better if I said 2000 without slurring. 2012. All right. That's it.
Buy a Death Squad shirt.
Go buy a Death Squad shirt. Go to deathsquad.tv. And we got a Mike Maxwell Death Squad shirt, a new one that's coming out. It's fucking dope. It's a chimp with a gas mask on it. It says Death Squad, Department of Health and Welfare. Love it. Excellent. We're also going to have those t-shirts that Maxwell made, or excuse me, those posters that Maxwell made for Chicago and Atlanta. We're going to turn those into t-shirts because so many people have been requesting them. And they're really cool posters, and it's available on MikeMaxwellArt.com. Mike will also be there tomorrow night. He's coming down to the Ice House. So that's it, you freaks. We love you. We're all in this together. All of us. As unlikely as it seems, although it makes no sense, we are all part of something much greater than ourselves. One big, giant fucking soup of things, all